All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Well, yeah, it's a channel. It counts. Today, we are going to be playing the demo of Living the Dream. It is a visual novel. It is very queer, and it's on Kickstarter right now. The campaign ends at the end of the month, and we really, really need the help. So, we're gonna play this demo, see what it's got going for us, and hopefully earn us some money.
Yep, and I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Let's see.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm here. And I am happy to answer any questions you have about the game or about the rewards or just about me in general, about game development, writing, Uh, I always like chatting with people and answering questions. So if you have questions, do you first my first question to you is do you mind if I drop the link to the Kickstarter in the chat?
Oh, not at all. Go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Now this link is gonna have uh
Oh, thank you.
Yep, this link is going to have the link to the Kickstarter. It's also going to have a link to the demo. You can play the demo online. And it's also going to have a link to the Discord. The Discord is a really fun place to be because, that's where I'm going to post first information about casting calls if you want to be involved in voice acting. It's going to be a place where, I'm going to show off, works in progress of new chapters or new different versions of trailers and things like that. So, yeah, if that's something that interests you, definitely join us on Discord.
Absolutely. I'm in the Discord. I can attribute. It's a fun place.
Yay. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah. Uh, my question for you, first of all, your picture. Who is that?
So that's Lavinia. This is kind of an ensemble piece. There are many characters in this game. Lavinia is the character whose visual design is probably my favorite, so I just kind of decided to be her. That's actually one of the Kickstarter rewards if we hit the top stretch goal is I trade souls with Lavinia and then have to do a dev stream as her. So I have this idea of what if I get like a VTuber like avatar as her and then like stream myself coding as her. I thought that would be fun. But yeah, overall she's not like my persona or anything, but she's definitely like my favorite character from a visual perspective. And a lot of other people seem to like her a lot too.
She looks amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you like her. Yeah, I noticed that's one thing about visual novels is that like there's a lot of anime inspiration in the designs for a lot of visual novels.
Of course.
And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I really like anime a lot, but um I think that diversity of body type is like really, really important when it comes to character design. Like I want a bunch of different characters that look different.
Of course. Yeah.
And
There's too many visual novels, especially
hmm
um like boy love visual novels or
hmm
things like that, where they all have the same like face, and that's a
yeah,
problem.
they'll have the same face many times. They all have the same body type, and that's actually like so that's kind of a signature of my work is that I like to I'm not an artist. I'm the creator, writer, coder. But I had a lot of influence on the way the art was designed. I created these really complicated like references and things like that. So yeah, that was one thing. I actually kind of used this character as like an acid test for which artist I was going to work with. I was like, draw this character. And if you can't draw this character, then I need to find a new artist. And it took me a while to find an artist because a lot of people drew her and then they like drew her like really skinny or whatever when I explicitly
Uh,
said don't do that.
she's giving me Ursula vibes, and I really, really like that.
Yeah, that is kind of well, that's kind of the whole theme of the project, great, is like, reimagine fairy tales. So how could I not do a, Ursula inspired type character?
Of course.
Um, so yes.
Like, that is one thing I will give Disney on that movie. Using larger body types, varied body types, and
hmm
using a drag queen for reference. Peak.
Yeah, very, very cool. I mean, it makes me a little sad that the it makes me a little sad that so many of the queer coded characters in Disney were like the villains or the sidekicks or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for them to have like a queer princess or something. I think that would just be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people said that they were like sort of doing it with Elsa, and I'm like, nah, you know
Mm,
what? Like, not quite.
Elsa doesn't really have a love interest.
And she had like the friend in the second movie, and that's it.
Yeah, but that was a friend.
Yeah, that's
Sorta.
what I mean. It's just kind of a it was like a very very vague wink and a nudge. That's pretty much all it was.
Like when they eventually do give us a queer prince or princess, make it
That
explicit.
that will yeah, that will be pretty amazing. I'm sure it
Not
will
like
happen eventually, but
not like R explicit, just like
yeah,
out.
yeah, make it unambiguous, I think is
Exactly.
probably the best word.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. Let me see. One more thing. Um, how long have you been working on this project?
So I first created my prototype for this project 2 years ago, and then I took a little bit of a break from game development for a little while. I actually had like a regular job for a brief time, and I was trying to find the right artist, which slowed things down a bit. And it went through a few iterations. I actually had three different ideas, and I kind of combined them into one to make this project. My first idea was I wanted to have a story like project called Fairy Telling, which is just about fairy tales reimagined with a bunch of like queer characters, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then another idea I had was I wanted to have like a queer wizard school called Rainbow Vale, and that would kind of be like the a lot of us really grew up enjoying Harry Potter, and then now we feel like we can't enjoy it anymore because of what's happened with the author and everything, right?
Yeah, I
And so I
understand
kind of
completely.
I kind of wanted to reclaim that space and reimagine it and not just create a wizard school, but like explicitly a queer wizard school. So that would be really fun. And then I had this other idea about like, what if I created a game that was all about exploring dreams and you enter this like fantasy world when you dream? And I kind of combine elements of all three. I had the fantasy world become a fairy tale inspired world, principally because one of the characters that does the dreaming really loved fairy tales as a kid. So that's why the world looks the way that it does. And then I also had the Rainbow Vale Wizard School idea also become part of the story. That's going to be essentially a chapter two thing, and you may find out about it. This demo, which is about an hour if you're playing it and just sort of clicking through it and reading it. It's about an hour and a half if you're reading it out loud, maybe hour 45 minutes if you're reading it out loud and then doing some commentary as well. But
Not bad for a
yeah,
demo.
Yeah, and not bad for a demo. And it has two different epilogue paths. And one of those epilogue paths actually shows you uh, how Rainbow Veil gets started. So you might get that one.
Ooh.
We will see if you get it.
Yeah, I love games that have multiple paths to them.
Well, that's definitely a signature of mine. My previous game, Wicked Willow, um, which I will go ahead and drop a link to that in case
Yeah, go for it.
anyone wants to check out Wicked Willow. So my previous game, Wicked Willow, which you can find on Steam here, um, also had multiple paths. And that game had eight unique plot paths. And so I anticipate this game will probably have around eight as well.
Very nice. All right. Let's see. Was there anything else I wanted to ask you? Hmm. I don't think I had anything else.
Okay.
Okay. So, let's get started.
Yay.
I am excited for this.
Me too.
Yeah, I heard that there is a queer slash trans storyline.
You heard correctly.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, the whole game has a lot of queer and trans stuff in it, and the whole cast is also queer slash trans. So
Yes, I forgot to mention that.
yes, so it is pretty queerific, or I don't know what whatever. Nailith, are you daydreaming or something?
You just click.
Yes, I just realized that I am currently watching the stream, but you should probably share your screen with me because there's a slight delay on the stream. So share your screen with me, and then I will watch it from there. And that way, you won't wait to hear me talk.
You might want to mute the stream so we don't get bellowing.
I did mute it.
Okay. Cool, cool. Alright.
Naylith, are you daydreaming or something? It's right there. Go cut his head off. So I would say if you want to be the two main characters, then I would ask Naylith and
I need to turn it down on my end. 1 second.
yeah,
It's
the
still
music,
too loud.
and it gets louder in some scenes, so you definitely turn it down to at least 75% down, or
Oh dear. Okay. Oh, it went back up. I forgot I refreshed. No
yeah,
wonder.
yeah. There you go.
Let me go there. Okay. Return. With this tiny dagger, probably not sharp enough.
Then kick it to death or something.
With these boots, the ones I just finished mending?
If you won't do it, then I'll show you how it's done. So, it's dead either way. Only question is, are you a coward? Don't just stand there, kill it already! Wait a minute. I just realized something.
Yes.
You said you were the one that liked doing the variety of voices, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, we accidentally switched it up. I should be Naylith and Reeve.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. So you can be Mama War Chief.
Okay. What are you waiting for? Do it now. That's it. I'm coming over.
Squirrel, look out!
Naylith, again with this?
What did the squirrel ever do to us?
We need meat to eat. We need fur to trade.
That's all you can see? The cute little guy is just resources to you?
You kill carrots. You think you're better than the rest of us?
There's actually quite a lot of differences there. For example, carrots reproduce by...
Enough! You'll take my place one day. And it'll be your responsibility to protect the children and the menfolk. How will our people survive if you're too squeamish to kill a little squirrel?
It's not that I'm squeamish per se. I just feel...
You feel this. You feel that. A heart should not be an open book, Naylith. Haven't I told you that enough times already?
Yes, but...
Stop. I'm sick of your excuses. Let's call it a day out here.
Who are you? Oh, my name is Reeve, and I...
Naylith, be silent. This man is obviously here to trade for one of our fur coats. I can't imagine he can keep warm in whatever it is he's wearing.
It's called a suit?
A soup? Well, whatever it's called, your women must be blind to let you dress like that.
My woman?
Do you not have a woman?
No, I'm not.
Your sister, then. Where is she?
Actually, I'm an only child.
Your mother, then. Or your aunt. Whoever is escorting you.
I'm not traveling with any of my relatives. Why do you...
A man without... Oh, wait. Whoops.
A man without an escort? Mother, see, I told you it was possible.
Naylith, silence. These people must be suffering from some devastating famine, and all your women are off to the hunt.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know that you have like ads running that are like blocking that out. Like if you're okay with the ads, I just wanted to let you know, but people can't actually, I don't think people can actually hear us right now.
Ah, shit. Yeah, I forgot about the
Yeah,
ads.
because sometimes people want the ads for the ad money, and sometimes people like want to turn the ads off, but they forget that they're like on automatically. So I just wanted to like let you know that that's happening right now.
Let me see if I can turn them off, actually.
Okay.
I don't think I can do it while it's running.
Oh, okay.
Not the stream, but the ads.
Yeah, I understand. Well, if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it. I just wanted to let you know, and then, like I said, I'm like, I'm happy to just kind of like there's not a lot of like chat engagement right now anyway, so I'm happy to just like primarily chat with you if you'd like.
That's cool with me. Mm, I would hate to run people off though, or make them miss something. Let me
It's off
try
now.
and
The ad is off now.
okay. Let me see if I can turn it off.
We are trying to deal with the ad situation, chat.
Yeah. Uh,
The ads are so irrelevant. That's the thing that's so hilarious to me. I'd be like, I would love it if the ads were about games
yeah.
or something like that, but like that was a Charles Schwab ad. And I'm just like, this is a game from a leftist creator who criticizes capitalism in the game, right? Like,
Uh huh.
why are you playing a Charles Schwab ad?
Let me see. Can I turn the ads off? I know subs can see no ads. How do you turn it off regularly?
Can I ask about your avatar?
Sure.
What is the little light thing above the head? What is that? Is that Christmas tree lights or?
Yeah, it's Christmas lights.
Oh, so is your character like Christmas themed?
Oh no, I made this one for Christmas. Um,
Oh,
okay. I turned off the scheduled ads.
what species?
They are an amalgam between a cat, fox, corvid, and what's the last one?
Sheep?
No, ibex.
What's an ibex?
An ibex is a type of antelope.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Would you like to see their full reference sheet? I can send it to you.
Sure, sure, send that to me.
One moment. There you go.
Well, thank you for sending that. That looks cool.
You're welcome. Okay.
We have a lot of people who like my first game was the Pirate's Fate. I'm not sure if you've heard of that game.
The pirate's what?
The Pirate's Fate, have you heard of that?
No.
Okay. So that was a game that was with more of like a furry art style.
Oh,
And
okay.
we had a lot of people who wanted to do like cameo roles in that game. And I brought that back for this game. And we've actually had several people sign up to include their own like persona or custom character like in Living the Dream as like a cameo character. So that's one thing I wanted to do just because like I know there's a lot of people who have like some, very creative OCs and want to actually be able to see them brought to life in that way. So that was one thing that we decided to do. And like, I didn't do it in Wicked Willow just because Wicked Willow was such a small cast, but
Mm-hmm.
because this is kind of like a fantasy dream setting and it has room for like more people and different dreams and stuff, I thought it would be fun.
I'm gonna send you a second character of mine that actually
Okay.
matches the vibe
Yep.
of this game,
Cool.
named Puck.
Well, I like that a lot too. So yeah, if you or if there's someone in the cast or someone in the if you or if there's someone listening who might be interested in that, just let me know. You can join the Discord and send me a message about your character. I'm happy to
Exactly.
chat about like different ways that the character could potentially show up in the game. Like I said, we've had 3 people now who have signed up for that so far,
And
and
that's
that
really
will.
cool.
I know it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. We've had 3 really cool ideas. One person's idea was like idea that is like a werewolf character, right? And so it's
Mm-hmm.
like, what if it's Little Red Riding Hood, but they are also the wolf, right? So like Little Red Riding Hood,
Oh.
but they're the werewolf, and they're transgender, so they go from a male Little Red Riding Hood to a female wolf.
Oh, cool.
That's just a really awesome character idea. So that's an example. And you can actually see if you join our Discord, you can actually see that I programmed in like mini introduction chapter with that character already. Don't have all the art ready yet, but I did it using some mock-up art. So yeah, that's just one thing that like we're a little far off from the goal right now. We're hoping that we can get as close as possible. Stranger things have happened getting to the goal in the last few days. But yeah, that's definitely one way to help is by getting involved in the level. I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
No, that
Well,
sounds really cool though.
thank you.
And I
We'll
will
go
be
ahead.
looking into that because I am interested.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, what is the species of the character you just sent me?
He is just a general fae. He's based off of Puck
Oh,
from A Midsummer Night's Dream.
oh yeah. I was gonna say I got vibes from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's got
that
his own
is
like universe now, but he was originally just based off of that.
well. That definitely does fit the vibes of the game a lot.
Yeah.
In terms of that. Um. Yes, I will definitely chat with you more about that. I was gonna say I don't know how long you typically stream for. How long is your
You cut off what?
I was gonna say how long do you normally stream for?
Around 3 to 4 hours.
Okay, okay. I was gonna say I didn't know if I'm gonna brush up against the time limit or anything.
Oh no,
But
you're
no,
fine.
you'll definitely get through by then.
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely chat with you more about possibilities for that. But I don't want to chat with you too much now, just because I
You
don't
want
want
to
to
get through the
accidentally.
game and
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to spoil plot points that are coming up. So we'll go back
yeah.
to the game for now.
Okay, your turn.
We don't really have hunters where I come from. No hunters? Exciting. Well, where I come from, we.
Are you smirking at us? If you were a member of my tribe, you'd be flogged.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
I am not offended. We do not flog out of anger. We flog to create order. It's something people like you cannot understand. Now get out of here. You see now, Nalith? That is what we'd be reduced to without the hunt. Wearing thin little rags, starving to death, menfolk wandering to and fro, indulging in their every whim.
Yes, but
But nothing. I am sick of your idle chatter. Spend the rest of the afternoon reflecting on your failures today.
yes, Chief. A world without hunters. No one would expect me to be one. Is there really such a place, or is that just an impossible dream? Where am I? What is this place? There are all those square things everywhere. How large is this structure? It must be some type of massive castle to have walls like this. And these clothes, they look like the man who came to the village. What was his name? Grieve or something? What the is this really my body? It looks so different.
There you are. I'm Sherry. You're the new intern, Reeve, right?
Oh yeah, I think so. That voice. I really am him.
You seem distracted. Were you looking for something? Lose your phone?
What's a phone?
You're a real hoot, Reeve. Dave will be training you, but I'm in charge around here. Got that?
Yes, Chief.
Chief, huh? You know what? I kind of like the sound of that. Well, work hard out there, Reeve, or I'll kick your butt personally. Just kidding. Maybe.
So, men have relatively more freedom here. The leadership structure seems to be unfortunately fairly similar. I wonder, did men negotiate for their freedom, or was there some type of non-violent revolution that
Hey there. I'm Dave. It's Reeve, right? Working hard or hardly working?
oh, I'm not really sure what you mean.
Just kidding, bud. I know I haven't given you anything yet.
What is to be expected of me?
Just follow my lead for now. Here's what I've been working on. Check it out.
What is this?
The new fundraising for sure. Don't you like it?
You made this with what dyes? What type of canvas? What kind of brush?
You mean like in Photoshop?
Oh, more words I don't understand. If I'm not careful, he's gonna realize I don't belong here. Never mind that. What did you make this for?
What, you want to hear the rap? You know, the pitch, the spiel, the talky stuff?
Sure, I mean, I've been told I like the talky stuff too much at times, actually.
Well, you came to the wrong guy. I'm just the graphics person. Basically, the forest is getting cut down, blah, blah, blah. We try to stop it, save the trees and the streams and the cute little animals. Your standard stuff, really.
So if I'm hearing this right, you're a warrior who fights for preservation instead of destruction, who wields a paintbrush instead of a sword.
You've got a real way with words about you, pal. Maybe you should be writing the raps next time.
This is what you do all day? There's no famine to worry about or anything?
Famine? Nah. If you ask me, the bitter problem is food waste.
Food waste?
Yeah, tons of perfectly good food gets thrown away every year. So pointless. And all that packaging's bad for the environment, too.
They have so much good food that it gets thrown away? This really is a dreamlike paradise. Wait a minute. Hey Dave, do you mind if I ask you something?
Shoot.
Do you really have do you ever have dreams?
Uh, doesn't everyone?
I mean, I suppose so, yeah. Do you ever have one that feels really real? Like, how would you know if you were dreaming right now?
If I were dreaming, I wouldn't be stuck at work.
Stuck at work? How could anyone be unhappy in this wonderful place?
Very funny, Reeve. Yeah, this place is fine, but it's no fairy tale.
A fairy's tale? Ugh, what does that have to do with anything? Why do these people speak in riddles?
Well, anyway, after we're done being stuck here, you should come to the party tonight. It's at the beach. Can you believe it? Just keep it on the down low. We don't want you know who to try to invite herself.
You know who?
Just wanted to check on our little worker bee. Everything in order?
Yes, Chief.
Good, or else there'll be hell to pay. Got any plans later? Last time there was a big bowling thing and nobody invited me. I mean, I'm a fun boss, right? Don't see why I can't come.
Dave asked me to keep the party quiet, but Sherry's the chief, so I should follow her orders. Then again, how often have I refused to follow my mother's orders? Dave clearly had a reason for her not wanting to be there, but Sherry felt left out last time. I can't just sit here staying silent or they're gonna get suspicious. I gotta say something fast.
Oh. Hmm. No plans.
Nope, no plans that I know of anyway.
Really? You're gonna fit in right around here, Reeve. Anyway, one thing I forgot to do. Let me give you the card for my therapist.
Therapist?
Well, this job drives everyone nuts eventually. You'll need someone to talk to. And she really works wonders, you know. Before I went to her, I used to be prone to fits of rage. But now I'm all better. Most of the time, anyway. Phew, that was a close one. Glad you kept your mouth shut.
If she found out, would she flog you?
Flog me? Nah, I don't think she's into guys. But she'd kinda invite herself to the party. I mean, she's an okay boss, but she can be a bit much, right?
I'm used to it. She sounds just like my mother.
Whoa, for real? Maybe you should really use some kind of therapy.
Oh no, I'm back here. It was just incredible. Uh, wait a minute. I know Reeve himself wasn't just a dream. I actually saw him in my village yesterday. A real person. That means his world might be real too. What life does the real Reeve lead? I have to know. I have to find others who have met Reeve. I have to believe that something more than this exists outside of my imagination.
What's with the big dumb grin on your face this morning?
Oh, Mother, I had the most amazing dream. I dreamt that I was in the world of Reeve, and I got to work on fundraising brochures, whatever those. And I didn't have to hunt.
Once, I dreamt that I had a daughter who wasn't a coward. Dreams don't always come true.
So you're saying sometimes they do? I might beat those odds.
I'm not amused, Nayla.
Rabbit Man, did a human named Reeve pass by here? You couldn't have missed him. I've never failed to see you out here meditating. Ugh, why am I even asking you? You always have your eyes closed, but maybe you could have heard him, huh? With those big rabbit ears, maybe humans walk differently or something. Ugh, your discipline is incredible. I don't think I could last 5 minutes without talking. I mean, I'm practically just talking to myself now, aren't I? Time to check somewhere else. Pardon me, but have you three seen a human named...
Humans? Humans? You mean that miserable little cretin that broke into our home?
So you did see a human. What did they look like?
The human? Downright adorable.
Well, what do you mean?
I don't get it either. What's so adorable about a thief? Eating our food, sleeping in our bed? We're not a hotel over here. Then why'd you put up a sign that says bed and breakfasts? My two favorite things are bed and breakfasts. What's wrong with advertising that?
Well, the human in question might have misunderstood. Maybe he thought that...
The human we saw was a girl, not a boy. She was so pretty. See what you started with all this adorable talk? Now you've convinced our son that humans are pretty. What's next? Will he want to wear human clothing? Can I? Can I? I'm going to have a stroke.
Can you hear me okay?
No, I didn't hear you at all.
Oh, can you hear me okay now?
Yeah.
I've got to... cells. Catch up with...
Oh, you are breaking up real bad.
Oh, hold on. No? I'll try sitting back down. I stood up and maybe that messed it up.
Uh-oh. Try
I've
again?
got to... I...
No, it's sounding like an internet issue. Huh. Are we not on the same server? We should be. What region are you in?
I'm in LA.
US West. I will join that region and see if that's better.
Hello?
Hello.
Do I sound good again?
Yes, you do.
Okay, sorry about that.
It's alright. You read that already?
I gotta go look for my human someplace else. Catch up with you all later. Hello?
Why, hello there, Nayla. It's always a joy to see you. What brings you by this part of the forest?
Long story there, but before I go into that, Lavinia, I love the new voice. Not that I mean to say there was anything wrong with the old one.
Oh, darling. Yes, there was.
Is that the same voice?
Yeah, you go back to the voice you were doing before now.
Okay. Like I always say, A deal is a deal, and I've got quite the bargain. This here enchanted tree gave it to me, and if you can believe that, all I had to do was to agree to be real friendly like to this mysterious stranger I'll see later.
Sounds fun. Speaking of mystery strangers, that's what I'm looking for. Have you seen a human wandering about? He was wearing some very unusual clothes.
I haven't seen anyone like that around here. Terribly sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah, nobody else saw him either. Thanks anyway.
But sincerely, I hope you find Relieve. Is that what you said his name was?
Reeve.
Whatever his name is, I hope you I hope you paths cross again soon.
Oh, you're so lucky. I'd love to be a merchant instead of having to be a huntress.
Trust me, it's not nearly as much fun as I make it look.
Gotta be better than stomping squirrels to death.
Well, I suppose I can't pronounce judgment there without walking a mile in your shoes. Not that I'm capable of wearing shoes in the first place.
Oh, what a waste of a day. Oh, by the way, what do you think of my whatever, my twin sister on the screen there?
Uh,
Do you trust her?
no.
Why not?
From what was brought up and what was said, it makes it sound like she is the type of creature that makes deals,
Hmm.
and you never trust that kind of creature.
I included a little hint that she's dishonest because she said, "Oh, I hope you find Relieve." Is that what you said his name was? And it
Yeah, and
was
she
says
never
Reeve.
said his name.
Yeah, dun dun dun.
Mm-hmm. So she has seen him.
Yeah.
She lying.
Yep. At least I can get some sleep now. Maybe I'll have sweet dreams again. Pack. This must be the party Dave invited me to. I'm so excited. Look at that lake out in the distance. It's huge. It must be the biggest lake in the world.
Hey, Reeve, why'd you wear your suit? You know this is a beach, right?
Oh no, should I have dressed like you?
What? No, don't steal my look, bro. You can pull it off anyway. So you wear that suit jacket all the time, or what?
No, I'm used to wearing fur.
Fur? What, did you grow up in some remote woodland village somewhere or something?
Yeah, that's right. How'd you know?
Bram, bro. For reals? That sounds awesome.
What? Why?
I mean, we work to save the forest, but we're stuck in some big city building all day. I'd love to really take in nature, fresh air, green trees, all that stuff. You probably just took it for granted growing up. You were living the dream, kid.
I can't believe this. Could anyone live in this paradise and
Hey, but you don't look so hot.
I'm just feeling tired, that's all.
Ah, so you're getting ready for another one of your crazy dreams? You know, speaking of dreams, I talked to Tina about that on the way over. She said dreams have, like, secret messages. Superliminal or something like that.
Super what now?
You know, whatever's wrong with your life, achieving your true potential, all that stuff.
All this talk of dreams. I'm starting to feel exhausted. Maybe Reeve doesn't get enough sleep? Mind if I close my eyes for a few minutes?
Sure, bud. Knock yourself out.
What the? If I'm back in the forest, why am I still Reeve? Wait, I think I understand. Reeve fell asleep, so now Reeve is dreaming. He dreams of my home, I dream of his. But why am I still Reeve? Because I haven't woken up yet? If I use Reeve's body to walk back to... my village, could I see myself sleeping? This is making my head hurt.
Reeve, my favorite client. Good to see you again, darling.
What? Ugh, she told me she never heard of him.
Good news. We've closed escrow. Would you like to see your new home away from home?
Sure, after you. If I'm gonna find out what Lavinia really knows, I'm gonna have to play along.
Isn't she a beaut? You seemed like a good egg, so I wanted to give you a sweet deal, if you know what I mean. I'm also throwing in a fun, free magic mirror. Let's see your true potential. Sound fun?
My true potential. That's the phrase Dave used. It can't be a coincidence.
Intrigued? I knew you would be. Now, there's just the small matter of my fee. I think a little of your humility ought to cover it.
Humility? What is that even? Fine. Done. By the way, you like the background?
I do.
You notice anything about it?
It's
Included a
very...
secret message. The color scheme.
It is very, very pink. It's trans colors.
Yay!
Yay! Always a pleasure doing business with you. Go ahead, step inside. It'll do the house some good. The last owner was a real witch.
What does that mean? Oh, forget it. I really want to see that mirror before one of us wakes up. What? What's that in the mirror? It's my reflection. I mean, Reeve's reflection. That's amazing. Why does he look like that?
Do you really want to know, Reeve?
Yeah, you can talk? Who are you?
Lavinia explained that to you already, did she not?
So you are the witch?
Is that really all you heard her say?
I don't understand what's going on. What are these dreams?
Dreams?
Well, they could just be dreams. Dave said they could be an omen of my true potential. Maybe they're journeys to another world. A world of advanced tools, enlightened culture. Maybe they're visions of the future?
Visions of the future. I see a beautiful university. I see rainbow lighting up a clear night sky.
What does that mean? You speak in riddles. Why is everyone speaking in riddles lately?
Riddles? The unreasonable woman bends herself to fit the world. Wait, the reasonable woman bends herself to fit the world. The unreasonable woman bends the world to fit herself. Therefore, all progress rests on the shoulders of the unreasonable woman.
No, not now. Not when I was so close to... Ugh, I don't even know what. How am I supposed to just face the day after a dream like that?
Naileth, I have excellent news.
Oh no.
We're going to raid a goblin encampment tonight.
And what did the goblins ever do to us?
They're weak. We are strong.
This hardly seems like justification for...
I thought you might say something like that. But this time I've got reason even you can't resist. I heard somewhere these goblins are slave traders. They work their little slaves to death. Then they capture their souls in little glass jars to use as nightlights.
You heard somewhere? What would you do if someone spread irresponsible rumors about our own people? Would that be okay?
No, of course not.
Then do you see the...
I see a coward making excuses.
You don't have to call me names just because you disagree with me on this.
If you don't want to be called a coward, stop acting like one.
What takes more courage, standing up for what I believe in, or just doing what you tell me to do to make you feel proud of me?
Don't concern yourself with my feelings. A heart should not be.
An open book, I know, I know.
The raid begins at sundown. Do not disappoint me again, Nalith.
Gotta find Lavinia. What else does she know about Reeve and the mirror? What does it mean? Maybe she's inside? The mirror. It's him. It's Reeve. Hey, wait, come back. Full conversation last time, but all I get is a couple of seconds. If this isn't going well, Lavinia could be anywhere.
Wow, when they said delicious, I never imagined something this grand. This is almost too much of a good thing.
Nuh-uh. I think the amount of candy is just right.
Ugh, you two are impossible. This place is a dump. Who makes a house of sweets without including any honeycomb? No wonder the price was so low. What did she charge us again? A moment of vulnerability?
Wait, I think I know someone who sells property for intangibles like that. Someone who might be unscrupulous enough to try to sell the same different home to two different people. You're a realtor. Where are you meeting her?
To the north. She said she'd be busy running an antique auction for a little while. Nalith! What a relief. I was just thinking nobody would show up. This mighty fine blade is called the Sword of Arrogance.
The Sword of Arrogance?
The name intimidate you? Not to worry. You just can shout, "I don't care what other people think," while you're waving your sword around.
Enough about the sword. Lavinia, I trusted you. Why did you lie to me?
Little old me? Tell a lie? Heavens to Betsy,
Drop the act. I know you met Reeve. I saw it with my own eyes.
Oh, that was you, was it? I thought it might be.
You knew? How?
And why should I tell you anything? What do I get out of it?
You owe me the truth.
Or else what? Are you going to pull that sword out and stab me to death or something? I think we both know you don't have the stomach for that.
She's right. There's nothing I can do.
Hey, where are you going? I'm always willing to make a deal.
What am I supposed to bargain with? I don't have anything. I don't know anything.
You don't know anything? That's right. I hadn't thought about it quite like that. I'll tell you what you want to know, in exchange for your ignorance.
No weird magic deals.
If I give you information, you won't be ignorant of it. That's how information works, darling. What's magic about it?
Okay, fine, whatever.
Now, which subjects exactly are you eager to cleanse yourself of ignorance about?
Are you doing this? Trying to sell these things?
Because, Nalith, this world is a fairy tale, and I don't want to be the villain.
A fairy tale? I think I heard Dave say that phrase.
It's how they see us. We're like a bedtime story to them.
I still don't understand.
I grew up in a beautiful underwater paradise. Atlantis, it was once called. Now it lies in ruins, and I was the scapegoat.
How?
Oh, long story. I stumbled upon some forbidden knowledge in a dream I had. I think you know what kind of dream I mean, don't you? Quite naturally, I was eager to share otherworldly knowledge with others. How was I supposed to know that as soon as I explained what a collateralized loan obligation was, everyone would go bankrupt a week later? Just because I was selling them doesn't mean it was my fault. Of course. If I hadn't done it, someone else would have. But no amount of explaining it away seemed to matter. I knew that when the book of fairy tales was closed, I was going to be cast as the villain, the proverbial wicked witch, if you will. So I decided I'd do whatever it took to change that and become the hero once again.
By helping people?
No, of course not. What a silly idea. Haven't you been paying attention to what I've been buying? Ignorance, humility, vulnerability. All the traits of a sympathetic hero. And I've just about cornered the market on all these traits. Soon, the narrative will have no choice but to return me to my rightful place as protagonist. I mean, it's not like someone else is going to come along and steal the spotlight from me, right? Anything else?
Where exactly does Reeve come from? A dream world?
I dreamed of paradise, and it became real to you. Oh wait, you dreamed of a paradise, and it became real to you. Reeve did the same.
Ugh, but that world is filled with fantastic inventions and people living in harmony, and how would anyone want to dream of this miserable place?
You already know, don't you, Nayla? You've heard them talk. They're incapable of appreciating what they have. Think about it. Had you been born into it, would you truly be content with it?
Yes, I would.
If you say so, darling. Anything else?
Why do I become Reeve in his world? But he stays himself in this one.
What makes you think Reeve is himself?
I don't understand.
I know. Some things just can't be explained. Sometimes you have to realize it for yourself.
That's all for now.
Stop trying to understand that place and just enjoy yourself.
Enjoy myself, huh? That's the easy part. So excited for the next stream that I'm, well, not tired at all. How ironic. How do normal people sleep anyway?
Good morning, Sleeping Beauty. It's Reeve, right?
Yeah, sorry I fell asleep.
Feel awake enough for your therapy appointment?
That's right, the chief insisted I sign up for something called therapy.
This may sound like an odd question. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. This may sound like an odd question, but what does therapy mean?
Oh, great question. What does therapy mean to you?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't hear you again. Sorry. I don't know why Discord is being mean.
It's not picking up on me saying,
No, it's not.
Um,
Sorry, that's just a thing we therapists like to do. Flip questions around. You can call me
Absidy.
Absidy. Okay. I was like, what?
Wait, what? How do you pronounce that again?
Absidy, like the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E.
What?
Did nobody ever teach you the alphabet? You can feel free to just call me Dr. F.
Like the letter F?
No, it's like my last name, spelled E-P-H. Dr. F. Why would you think it was the letter F?
Earlier you said the alphabet.
But I thought you didn't know the alphabet.
You said that. You did.
We'll just agree to disagree on that one.
But why would you think my last name reminds you of the alphabet?
Well, because F comes after. You know what? Never mind.
Difficulty sharing with others. That's gonna have to go on your chart.
How old are you?
Old enough to know it's impolite to ask a lady her age. No worries, Reeve. I get that a lot. I know I'm very young to have total responsibility for so many lives. Whether you live a life with meaning of if you live a life of meaning or fulfillment or waste away in a misery is entirely in my hands, and I take that very seriously.
Oh, well.
Well, if you're not sure, let's get started. After all, you only get 58 minutes left on your hour, right?
I could see a different therapist.
Well, I do share an office with Dr. O.
Dr. O.
Strong, silent type. Kind, empathetic, glowing patient reviews. Basically the total opposite of me. Oh, but it looks like she's not on your insurance network.
Insurance network? What's that?
Tough break, Reeve.
I guess we can go ahead and give it a shot.
Sure thing, Reeve, but let's go into my office. If I do my sessions out here in the waiting room, people are going to think I need to see someone. So,
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, are you enjoying the story so far?
I am.
Awesome, awesome. Do you have like any questions you want to ask, or like your favorite character or anything?
I had a question about the social system.
Sure.
Are they like Amazons, sort of?
Yeah, it is a like a matriarchy, like a gender role flip society. Yes.
Cool. Okay.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah. Is Nayla an elf?
Nalith is an elf, yes.
Okay. Um. I have already forgotten the name of the character that is your picture. Is she a specific species, or is she an amalgam?
Lavinia.
Yes, Lavinia.
I call her an octopus lady.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. There's a word cephala. There's a word that starts with cephala, not cephalopod, but like cephala. I don't know what the word is, but there's like a word for like octopus person that I have forgotten that is what she should be, but I've forgotten the word, so I just always call her an octopus lady. But
Typically with endings in Latin, it's Asian. So cephalation or something. I'm not sure.
Cephalation sounds like inflation.
It does.
By the way, does Dr. F have a cute kitty?
Yeah.
He is so cute.
Very cute.
She's a very funny character. I tried to design her to be like the world's worst therapist.
Yeah, I can tell. Let me see what Google says. Sicilian.
Yes, that's the word, Sicilian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's what she is.
Nice. Yeah, I just wondered because she looks amazing. But
Is she your favorite character?
I have a soft spot, so yes.
Well, oh, okay. Great minds think alike there then.
No, I love characters that take both from the good and evil sides, especially if they have like their own self-interests in heart. Peak character design. I love that. It just
I'm glad you like that. Yeah, I always thought that would be really interesting. Is you have like a self-aware villain that like they're aware they're a villain, they're aware they're in a story, right? And they want to not be the villain, they want to be the hero, but you know,
For bad
because they're a
reasons.
villain, they're not going to become a hero just by choosing to be a good person. They want to scheme their way into becoming the hero.
exactly. It's great.
So, and that's actually one of the mechanics of this game is that I said that there's going to be like 8 different story rounds. There's going to be like 8 different chapters.
Ah.
And every single chapter is told from a different character's point of view, right? So this is like
Oh, okay.
Nayla's story.
Yeah.
And so Lavinia will have her own story, actually, where you can play as her.
Okay, this game needs to be funded now. How much do you need? What big of a
How much?
check do I need to?
Well, as of right now, we're about 6,700 away.
That's
I
a
don't
big
think you'd
check.
have to do that whole thing. If we were to get like a little closer there, that would probably inspire other people that are on the fence to do it. So I mean, whatever. I'll just say this: if you're listening, like whatever you want to do, it's greatly appreciated. So I'll just say that.
Yes, exactly. Any help would be
Any
great.
any help is appreciated. I know if we got almost there, that there would probably be a few more people who would jump in and say, okay, I'll get us most of the way there. So I don't expect anybody to do like the whole whatever 6,000 in one go, but yeah, whatever you want to do is appreciated. Even if you can only chip in a few bucks, like I know times are tough right now for people, so
Yeah.
whatever you can afford is appreciated.
We need more indie stories that include self-aware villains. It's
Yes.
necessary.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to proceed with the therapy jokes?
Yes. Okay, so why don't you tell me why you think you need therapy?
Ugh, I still don't even know what that word means.
Oh, what's the matter? You shy? Why not just tell me what you feel is bothering you lately?
Feelings. Uh-oh, this might be a trap. A heart should not be an open book.
Are you asking me to guess what's wrong with you? Challenge accepted. Let's go. Ever thought you might have an Oedipal complex?
A what now?
It's when you want to kill your father and have sex with your mother. You haven't done that yet, right?
What? No.
Ah, yes, then it's clearly unresolved. Not to worry. I think a few good old roleplays will get it out of your system.
No, no, that won't be necessary.
Whatever. Your loss. Okay, I had a patient yesterday who was a kleptomaniac.
Klepto, what now?
It's where you're, like, addicted to stealing. Taking stuff that isn't yours, stealing it away. The thrill of knowing you could get caught at any moment. No, not doing anything for you?
Not really.
Okay, you're proving to be a tough nut to crack. Get it?
Eh.
What was it you said earlier? Something about opening up a book?
I said a heart should not be an open.
An open book. Okay, let's try that. I'll flip open this here DSM book, flip to a random page, and see if you got whatever's there. Okay, Phaeton Complex. Never heard of this one. It says sensitive, obsessive, inflexible. A painful combination of emotions caused by the absence, loss, coldness, or traumatizing behavior of one or both parents. Does that sound right? Or spin again?
My father died before I was born, and my mother, she's always been so,
How'd it go for you?
fine. Well, better than fine, actually. Actually, amazing. I never really had a chance to.
Lucky you. I got this weird lady that dressed up in a big monster costume the whole time. Something about healing my inner child or something, I guess. Anyway, now that that's over, let me buy you lunch. There's a new vegan place I wanted to try. A little bit of a drive, but I hear it's worth it.
What is vegan?
You're joking, right?
Oh, no, I was about to have lunch with Dave.
Naileth, the raid was a great success.
For you, sure. For the goblins, probably the opposite.
You should have been there.
I'm sure I would have just distracted you.
Why can't you just listen to me?
Why can't you just accept that I'm, not going to?
Why? Why are you this way, Naileth?
Uh,
Tell me! Or should I flog you in town square?
the Phaeton complex.
What? What is this word?
You asked me why I am the way I am. I'm trying to tell you. The absence or loss of a parent, or the...
What are you saying? Because your father wasn't around to coddle you, you turned out weak? Does that make sense, Naelith?
It's a common thing. Sensitive, obsessive, inflexible. I'm all those things. I'm right out of the book.
What book? Where did you learn all of this?
I talked to, someone. She calls herself a therapist.
She? She? If you were talking to a man about all these things, feelings, I could look the other way, Naelith. Men are naturally more emotional, so you've got to say what they want to hear to woo them. But a woman? Why? Why? A heart?
Should not be an open book. I know, but why? What would our society be like if we could talk about our feelings, openly?
We'd be a tribe of weaklings instead of warriors.
Would that be so terrible?
You were right, Naelith.
I was? I thought I'd never hear you say.
Whatever you called it. The Phoenix Complex? It is my fault. I coddled you far too long.
Well, first of all, it's not called that. And then second...
You need to learn the value of strength. To that end, you must learn to live without the rest of us protecting you.
What are you saying?
Go. Go to the forest. Until you return with a kill, you are no longer welcome here, Naelith.
Why? Why did I have to tell her about Dr. F? Oh, I'm such an idiot. Where should I go? What should I do? I don't want to harm another living soul, but I can't just live out here in the wilderness. I can't ask Lavinia for help after how things went last time. Wait a minute, Lavinia. I think I might know where I can find a way out of this. This tree gave Lavinia a new voice. Maybe it can help me get out of this mess. Enchanted tree, hear my prayer. Can you do a British accent?
I can try.
Okay. Please help me find a recently deceased animal. So, if I may, well, gonna sound a bit complicated, but...
So you can pretend you killed it yeah. So you can pretend you killed it to please your psycho mum. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah.
You already know about my...
You want a really fresh dead animal, then. There's going to be one in the cave to the north in a few hours. Someone will bring it to you. I cannot do a British accent.
That's okay. You can do whatever. Someone?
Yeah. Just, you've got to be friendly with her. Yes? That's all I'm asking. And I don't think that's a lot. Just be friendly, alright? She means the world to me.
Of course I can do that. I don't see anyone here. But I might as well spend the night. I don't want to miss them, whoever they are. I'm so hungry, I hope my stomach lets me sleep.
So, what do you want to try first? Spare ribs, grilled salmon, barbecued duck?
I nearly forgot, Dave mentioned lunch. Only eating in my dreams make me full in real life.
Ugh, these portions are so tiny. Just because we're eating vegan doesn't mean we want to starve to death.
There's that word again. Ugh. I asked her about it earlier, but I woke up before I heard what the answer was. I already asked, but, what is vegan?
What? I thought that was a joke. You never really heard of it? It means, no eating animals.
But before you described, 3 meat dishes.
They do it, like tofu and stuff. Made of soybeans? Tastes kind of like meat, though. I mean, it probably doesn't taste as good as you're used to out in the country, but...
No, it tastes great.
Well, that's good.
So, are you a vegan?
Well, I try to be when I can. You know how it is.
Not really, no.
You know, when you're hungry at 3 a.m. and Taco Hell is right there, and don't judge me. I'm here now, aren't I? Doesn't that make up for it?
I don't really know what to say.
Well, I figure, if I'm not a man enough to go in the woods and hunt it myself, why should I?
Why should you have someone else do it? Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't. I've always felt that way. I just had no idea there was a whole word for it. I cannot tell you what a relief it is to finally. No, I just barely started dreaming. Wait, what is that sound?
Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell blood of. Who you?
I am Nailith. Uh, Pleased to meet you.
Woogni killed deer. Share with Nalith.
This must be that guest that the tree was talking about. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It nothing. Nalith Hunter.
Yes, well, sort of, not really. I've Wait, I can't bring this up. It might create an unpleasant moment. And I was supposed to be friendly. By the way, I'm just sort of laughing right now that like my little character avatar of Lavinia in the corner, it kind of looks like she's just like hanging out on the cave floor, and she's just like 1/10 as tall as Ugni. That's just so funny.
It's
Mini
great.
Lavinia.
Eat. Dear tasty. Eat. Eat.
I can't.
Why?
I've decided I am a vegan now.
What? What vegan?
Never you mind what it means.
You think Ugni not understand?
No, 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 that's not it at all. I feel like she's gonna get upset no matter what I do. It means I'm not going to eat the deer.
No eat deer?
I really appreciate you wanting to share, but no, no, dear.
Why?
If I'm not willing to kill, why should I accept someone else doing it on my behalf?
Why?
I don't know what to say. I don't want to be blunt about it.
Ugni thick skin.
This deer had a mommy and a daddy, right? Would you want to be the one to tell them that the little girl isn't going to come? Oh, is that what she calls thick skin? How many times is my big mouth going to mess things up? At least I still have my animal carcass, right? I can go home and just put all this mess behind me. And from now on, I gotta learn to keep what I find out over there to myself.
And what is this?
My first kill.
Fantastic. I knew you had it in it, Nalith. Had it in you, Nalith. You just needed a little fire under your ear, that's all. Welcome home, my child. We'll have a grand celebration, a feast. We'll sing songs around the fire, and next week you can come home with me and become a real hero. Now come with me and become a real hero.
What's happening then?
A village of gnomes to the east is being attacked by a giant spider. We're going to hunt it down and slay it together as mother and daughter.
Did the gnomes infringe on the spider's territory? Were they like mining too deep in the earth and you know what? Never mind. Mother's happy with me for once, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Wait. Wait a minute. Nayleth, you've killed this deer? How?
With my sword?
You stabbed it in the chest. Here. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Look at the ribcage.
Do I have to?
Yes. Look. These ribs are shattered. A blunt object like a club did this. You took credit for another's kill, didn't you? I have put up with a lot from you, Nayleth. I have put up with your cowardice, your defiance, your endless chattering. But how can I allow a liar to stay among us? You are no daughter of mine. You are banished.
But
Nayleth, for once in your life, stop talking. Just accept your fate with respectful silence.
I feel like you're talking again. Where can I even go? I wish I could just ask the magic tree to go back in time and make none of this ever happen.
One thing. One thing is what I asked. Be nice to Ukni.
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot. I messed that up too by talking too much. She's not gonna help.
The next time I saw her, she was sobbing her eyes out. Kind of like how you are doing right now. What's going on?
Yeah.
If you won't tell me, could you cry somewhere else? Those salty tears are bad for the tree roots, you know? Is this going to be a whole big heart-to-heart thing, isn't it?
Mhm.
Fine. Fine. But I think it would be better face to face. Come closer. Open up the little door. Reach in there. All the way back in. Okay. You've got me. Now pull me out.
You're.
I'm Gina. Wow, that vow of silence of yours lasted all of 5 minutes, huh?
Ugh.
Just trying to, lighten the mood.
I've been banished. My mood's pretty much unsalvageable.
I knew someone who was banished once. In the beginning, it was involuntary, of unpaid worker, Nayleth.
You mean a slave?
The goblins didn't like me to use that word, so I never did. I did exactly what they said, exactly when they asked. No questions.
She was a slave for the goblins, and now she's in a jar? My mother was telling the truth about them.
Brew this potion, enchant this carriage, curse this fig tree, whatever. It didn't matter if it was inane, nonsensical, petty, or cruel. One night, one of them came to me. I wish my future child would be the biggest, most powerful goblin ever. But you know what they say. Be careful what you wish for. The baby was big. Too big. The mother died giving birth. And the poor, oversized little thing was simply abandoned in the forest. Banished. She never knew her family. Never knew anyone. I ruined her life. So I've been trying to make it right for her. Find her a friend.
The woman made cry.
Right. Anyhow, feel all better now? Ready to get a move on?
How would that make me feel better?
Well, someone's got it worse than you, right?
Gina, I'm sorry I failed. But if you have magic powers, why don't you just snap your fingers and make a friend magically appear or something?
My magic ran out the day I died.
Then how are you doing all this?
This tree is just like a big treasure chest for this thief. Stashes all his loot here. He stole me from a goblin years ago. Stole a bunch of other little magic trinkets, too. That's how I'm able to help people who wander by. I got a magic voice in a shell, traded that away to some octopus lady. And it turned this human Reeve into a squirrel with a magic potion, hoping he'd become Oogni's pet or something.
So you have seen Reeve. I'm him in my dreams. He lives in this paradise where everything is wonderful.
Are you sure about that? You know the dream world might not be everything you think it is.
Yes, it is. Instead of killing animals, we're saving trees.
Well, as someone who lives in a tree, that does sound promising. How many trees have you saved so far?
Me? I just started.
What about the group then? How many?
Look, this world is the only place that I can be happy. I'd give anything to be able to stay there.
Anything, you say.
Yes, yes.
Find a way for Oogni to find a friend. She's really only good at smashing things, so it's going to be hard.
Smashing things. Wait a minute. I think there is a way for her to find a whole town full of friends. There's a village of gnomes to the east. Giant spiders attacking them. Oogni smashes the spider. Maybe the village will be more than grateful.
They better be.
So, earlier you were saying I could stay in that dream world?
I'm going to give you one of them. One of them Snow White Sleeping Beauty potions. You know the deal. Fall asleep. Never wake up until true love's kiss. But if you find some quiet location... you find some quiet location, don't tell anyone where you are, and just take it and sleep forever, and have sweet dreams.
Just the place. Okay, here goes nothing. Look. It worked. I'm back. Hopefully forever. Today's the first day of the rest of my...
Hey, Reeve. Mind getting us a couple coffees from the break room? Just over that way.
Coffee? Sure, no problem. Finally, something I've heard of. Wait, where's the civet? Where's the fire? How am I supposed to heat it up?
Oh, hey, Reeve. Can't get the machine running? Why not try punching it? Always works for me.
Ugh. I'm the coffee maker. I'll make anything you want. Just stop hitting me.
Get it? Like if the machine could talk. I kill me. I should do stand-up. Everybody says that. That I'm funny. Don't you think I'm funny, Reeve? Tell me you think I'm funny. You think I'm funny too? Oh, Reeve, that's the nicest thing anybody's said to me all day. I'm giving you a raise.
A raise?
Huh, no, of course not. I'm on a real roll today. Now go ahead and get back to saving those trees.
Gina said again. I wanted to ask. We actually do save the trees, right?
We sure do.
How many trees did we save last year?
Why does that matter?
I'm just trying to...
We tried our best. That's all that matters, right?
How many trees?
We spent all our money last year lobbying the UN to pressure the government of Brazil to agree to no more clear-cutting the rainforest.
And?
And he agreed.
Well, that sounds like good news. Why all the...
They burned it down instead.
What? Shouldn't there be, like, consequences for the...
That land is being turned into cattle ranches and slaughterhouses to make cheap beef. For important U.S. companies, with deeper pockets than us, obviously.
So instead of saving the trees, We had them all burned down and turned into places for animals to be killed?
Like I said, we tried our best.
What's the point of trying our best if that's how it turns out?
I'll chalk this up to you being new around here, Reeve. But if you ever talk to me again with that tone, you're terminated. Do you understand?
Yes, Chief.
Big oofs. Whoa, heard the tail end of that.
Terminated?
It means fired. You know, you don't work here no more.
Like being banished.
Hey, don't let her get you all nervous. There's someone like that at every office.
Somehow that's even worse. This world may not be perfect, but at least I can have help dealing with its problems. I can make this work.
Okay, so last time we talked about the issue relating to your identity issues.
Wait, what? No, we talked about the Thetan complex.
I think that was 2 sessions ago.
Has Reed been coming here without me? I mean, I suppose that makes sense. I'm not dreaming all the time. Until right now, anyway. Wait, what exactly did we talk about?
Oh, do you really not remember? Do I need to add short-term memory loss to your file or something?
I've been having some weird sleep issues. Just give me a reminder if you can.
Let me see. You said you feel like you're not yourself, you have no agency, yada yada. Oh, this is a great line. You said life is like being a puppet and watching someone else pull the strings. That was worth writing down.
Ugh. Oh no.
You also said you feel like you're a girl sometimes. Like you saw yourself as a girl in the mirror in a dream, and then once again in real life. Like you have a girl's soul inside you or something.
That's me. He does have a girl soul inside him.
Don't worry, this is a safe space, if that's still the lingo anyway. I mean, I've got a brother who's just like you. I mean, a sister who's just like you.
I gotta get out of here. I need a place to think.
Huge red flags. Hey, where are you going? I'm sorry I got tripped up. You gotta cut me some slack. I'm trying my best.
Ugh, this place is so much more peaceful without anyone else around. Nobody except these ravens, anyway. I can't keep living this life at Reeves' expense. By living as him, he doesn't get a life. I've gotta find someone to wake up, but Gina said the only way is for me to get true love's kiss. Nobody even knows where I am. How can that ever happen? Ugh, let me just close my eyes for a bit. I almost forgot Reeves' dreams. He visits my world. I'm still in control there. But what am I even supposed to do? Am I just supposed to get people to visit the candy house and kiss me until I find the right person? There's a castle behind that meditating man. I've never seen anyone go in or out, but it's gotta have a lot of people.
You're still doing that stupid meditation thing? You gotta snap out of it, Peter. It's so boring around here. I heard there's a bear hunt happening soon. It's no fun without company. Can you come with? Please? Please? You know, I'm not that interested in such pointless barbarism. But if you really, really require company, Esme, perhaps you should be bothering the outsider currently watching us from the bushes. An outsider? And it took you this long to tell me?
I'm Eve and
Look, Peter, his ears are so small.
I'm a human.
How fascinating. We don't get many of those here. Tell me, would anybody miss you if you lingered here too long?
Not exactly. Eventually, I'll just wake up and no one will even notice that I've gone.
Well then, human, if you could be so kind, please extend my sister the pleasure of your company. Hey, I get to watch a bear hunt with a fun new friend.
Look, I'm sorry, but I got my own business I'm trying to sort. I've got to find True Love's kiss to break a magic spell.
Well then look at me. I've only got eyes for the ladies, if you know what I mean.
What? They let you do that here?
Yep, you're not in Candace anymore, human. I'm just guessing that's where you're from. It's the only human location I know about. I learned about it in a dream once.
You have those dreams too?
Well, my number one dream is to watch bear hunt. Just think, a deadly hunter going toe to toe with a huge dangerous beast.
Well, like I said, I kind of have to get going, so...
You are not going anywhere. You promised you would keep me company.
I never said that.
Why don't we roll for it? They don't call me the Duchess of Randomness for nothing, you know.
Roll? What are you talking about?
Let me see here. If I roll a 12, you accompany me to the bear hunt. 2, 11. You can go 2 to 11. You can go your merry way. Agree?
A 1 in 36 chance? Fine. Alright.
Rolling. Oh, look at that. Double sixes. Lucky you. You get to come with me to the bear hunt.
I wouldn't describe that as lucky. Actually, I'm kind of morally opposed to the whole hunting thing.
Oh my god, you sound just like my brother. And to think you were convinced I was your one true love. Yuck. Don't worry, though. I'm sure you'll change your mind about hunting when you see how awesome it is. Or are you trying to break your word and leave me stranded here to cry my eyes out?
Maybe at least I can try to save the bear's life or something.
There's the prey. Now we wait for the huntress to appear. And much like the huntress, we must have patience. It may take hours. It may take days. But after a long enough time, the huntress will eventually emerge and reward us for our long-awaited...
Oh no, not her.
Shh. We're getting to the good part. The huntress is going to slaughter her prey.
And I'm afraid I can't let this happen.
What, do you think you can stop it? You think you can take on that tank?
I can try. If I do nothing, it's like I'm just as bad as... I bet you didn't expect that, did you?
I did not. That is adorable.
I know, what a nice picture.
Hi there, little guy. You just have the cutest little feet. Coochie coochie coo.
What? You're not killing him?
Hey, this was supposed to be a bear hunt, not a bear hug. I got one day away from my boring life, and you wasted it to give me this feel-good nonsense? I'm out of here.
Why didn't you kill that bear?
You! You're that famished man who came to our village. What, were you hoping to beg for some scraps of meat from my kill?
No, I... Was it all a lie? All your tough talk, your bravado, your cruelty?
So what if it was? A leadership project strength. I can't talk. A leadership project strength. What good would it do if I told everyone I die a little inside for every animal I have to kill?
Heart should not be an open book. That's what we always say, right?
Why, yes, but when have I ever said that to you? Who have you been talking to? My daughter?
You don't have a daughter anymore, remember?
You have been talking to her. Tell her she'll come around eventually.
No, she won't. Not now. Not ever. I might as well pay myself a visit before Reeve's dream ends.
Snoozing.
So weird to hear myself, or it's so weird to see myself sleeping like that. Does the mirror have anything to say? No, nothing. Come on, Nilith, wake up.
Kiss.
Hazel, try a kiss. No, nothing.
You call that a kiss? Oh, you poor thing. How unimpressive that was. Then again, perhaps your lack of passion is admirable. After all, you're not supposed to be in love with yourself, right? Not to worry. I brought a little something from Weave's world that ought to do the trick.
I thought only true love's kiss was supposed to break the spell.
Oh, Gina knew your plan wouldn't turn out the way you wanted, so she just gave you a regular old sleeping potion. What, are you upset I didn't try breaking the spell the fun way?
No, I just...
Before you give me the business, I think there's someone else you should talk to first.
Reeve, I'm so sorry. I had no idea I was causing you so much pain. But I wasn't in pain. You see, when I first started having these dreams a few days ago, I had no idea I was living your life at your expense. It wasn't at my expense. Yes, it was. I had no right to turn you into a puppet or whatever it was you said.
Better to have been a puppet than to be a real boy.
What?
Go on, Reeve. Tell her what you told me when we first met.
I'm not happy, Nilith. I haven't been happy for a long time. Having you take over my life was such a relief. You didn't sound relieved when you complained about me to Dr. F. I wasn't complaining. I always felt like I had a girl soul inside me, that it turns out that I really did. You.
Don't worry, Reeve. You can have that again. Forever if you'd like.
How? Wait, is this gonna be another one of these weird magic deals?
My, how perceptive you are.
Don't try to butter me up, just spit it out.
Well, after Gina explained what was going on, I had the most fascinating little idea for the two of you. Why don't I swap your souls? You can live each other's lives in each other's bodies. Sound good?
Oh yes, Nayland, it would be a dream come true. I still don't understand this. You'd rather be stuck in this nightmare forest than working in a dream job? Well, you'd rather be stuck in a cubicle than be a warrior princess.
Sounds like you've already decided, then.
Wait, I can see the witch in the mirror again.
I can't see a thing, Reeve. Oh, shit.
I can't see a thing. Reeve, can you ask the mirror what she thinks of Lavinia's idea? She said, a reasonable woman bends herself to fit the world. The unreasonable woman bends the world to fit herself. Therefore, all progress rests on the shoulders of the unreasonable woman. She said that once before, right? What do you think it means? And we got our epilogue decision here. We've reached the finale.
Oh, shit.
So which choice do you think?
Oh.
If it's difficult to make the decision, that means that I wrote it correctly.
It is difficult.
You should be conflicted. What are you leaning toward?
Okay. So, I am non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
So this speaks to me personally. And I'm going toward this one because it is most natural to me.
Let's do it. Of course we'll do it. This is what it's all been leading up to, right? This is our destiny.
Oh, good. Good. There is, of course, just one catch. Memories are stored in the brain, not the soul. That means you won't remember your old lives. You'll live as though you've always been your new self.
Wait, what? if our memories are stored in our brains, then swapping doesn't actually change anything. We're still in the same situation as we were before.
I know. She's such an asshole.
Nalith, are you in there somewhere? She really is in there, then it feels the same as it was before she came. Is this really how it all ends? Who do I even talk to about this without them thinking I've totally lost my mind?
So you traded souls, but it didn't work or something?
Actually, I have no idea if it worked. It's just that Lavinia said that memories are...
Oh yeah, the memory thing. You know, this is super complicated.
I'm sorry. It's just that for the first time ever, it really felt like it was worth it to get out of bed. I mean, I didn't even have to do it. She did it for me. She wasn't happy in her world either, and now she's stuck there. I don't know if I'll even ever get to see her again. All because of my mistake. I could have been brave and said we didn't need to swap, and then who knows what would have happened. It couldn't have been worse than how things are, but I chose wrong. Well, that's it. That's everything. What do you think it means?
It means you should be a writer or something. This feels like a best-selling fantasy series. I mean, what does it mean to you?
I don't know. Swapping sounded so great. I could be a girl without having to, well, you know. I don't have what it takes to go through it in real life. I can't even be brave in my own imagination.
That's it. I was right all along.
What?
You should become a famous writer. Turn all this dream stuff into a book. Make yourself a main character. So you can learn to be brave in your imagination.
Make myself a character?
Yeah, like the person you wish you could be.
In a fantasy world? I don't know. I mean, there is this fantasy book series I grew up reading. I really loved it, but the author has become kind of a, well, given what we've been talking about, it's actually kind of funny. I mean...
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm sorry I've taken up so much of your time with all this nonsense.
Oh, no, don't be. You're like my most insane patient ever. It will take lots of visits to cure you. Some more money for me. I used a bad word just now, didn't I? I sincerely apologize. I'm not supposed to say cure. I'm supposed to say psychiatric healing experience. Unfortunately, I'll have to cure you later. Your hour is up. Oh boy. Well, that's pretty.
Yep.
Is it the genderqueer flag?
It might be.
Because it looks like it.
It might be.
Did you hear how we're being sorted this year?
I heard it's going to be moral alignments this year.
Morals?
Yeah, but keep your voice down. It's supposed to be a secret.
What are you, Ugni? Immoral? Amoral? Utilitarian. Well, I don't know about morals. I heard it was going to be sexuality. Gays in one house, straights in another, and everyone in between in a third. How in the hell would that even work? I can't imagine you'd have enough straight people to fill an entire house. Burn. Ugni here food group. Meat house. Vegetable house. Candy house? Oh, nice. Okay. Welcome, first years, to Rainbow Vale. I don't waste your time with boring preambles about our school's history or its mission statement. I can hear that all of you are eager to be sorted. Am I right? When you arrived here, you received a ticket. Hold it high for all to see.
Mine is blue.
Ogni ticket yellow. Orange? Really? Too bad. I got green. I was hoping we could all be, you know, friends. Look around. Those with different colors, they are your rivals, your enemies. You can only trust students in your house. Do you see anyone with your same color? Nope. Ugni have hunch. Of course, none of you has the same color ticket. none of you is the same. At Rainbow Vale, there is only one thing we don't have room for: pointless tribalism. Mood. We are all on the same team. We are all classmates. We are all friends. Take those tickets and tear them up and throw them in the air. Welcome to Rainbow Vale Academy.
I think that's a pretty good start for chapter 1. Getting late. Maybe brush my teeth and get ready for bed. Oh, wait. Why can't I see myself in the reflection?
You're secretly a vampire.
Or... Dun, dun, dun. Secretly something else? Hello, old friend. Yay!
Yay!
Keep clicking.
Keep clicking. Okay.
Thanks for playing the demo. Please support the Kickstarter.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Keep clicking.
Keep clicking. Okay.
The full game will feature different story from different characters' perspectives. What's that? You want to see what that's like? Okay. Here's a little post-credit scene that shows what one possible chapter 2 is. Enjoy.
Hey, whoever you are, did you see the big dead thing by the city gates? Oopnie smashed. Wow, you killed that monster? How'd you do it? With that club? Was it like bam, bam, bam? Or was it one big smack? Did it die right away, or did it wander around and make moaning sounds for a while? Wait, before you answer that, where's everyone? The villagers run away. Even after you killed the monster? Oh wait, I think I get it. They saw you smush that big guy like a bug and they thought, oh wow, she's even more dangerous, and they took off. Villagers always run when they see Oomni coming. Let me see if I got this right. You saved their lives and they aren't even grateful enough to stick around? They ought to be singing songs in your honor, feasting you with their finest foods, offering up their hottest versions of sacrifices. Need not understand. Did you know I recently attended a bear hunt? And the hunter refused to kill the thing, even though it was just a cub and couldn't even fight back. I wish you'd been there. You'd have been shown her a thing or two. Oh, but where are my manners? You're Ugni. Well, I'm Esme, Grand Duchess of Randomness from First Monarchy Sophistry. Esme, friend? You bet. I can't wait to see who you smash next. Ugni, friend. Ugni, hug. Wait. Ugni might smash. How about this then? Pleased to meet you, my lady. Ugni happy.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, that's very cute.
Awesome. Yeah, that's going to be a whole chapter 2 is just the Ballad of Ugni and Esme.
Oh, great. That's fantastic.
Awesome. So what did you think of the demo?
I know you probably can't give me answers because it'd be spoilery, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Raven and Reeve are related in a cross-universe sort of way.
Well, Dr. F said, write yourself as a main character, the person you wish you could be.
Yeah.
And that
Which would make sense.
is, yes. I can say something that is not a spoiler because I put it on the Kickstarter page, but here's the thing about this. The dream world is not just another world that you can get to by dreaming. It is literally made out of dreams, right? So why is the dream world made out of fairy tales? Because Reeve really liked fairy tales as a kid. Why does the dream world feature a matriarchal society and feature someone who's rebelling against the arbitrary gender norms of that society? Because Reeve is also dealing with the confines of gender stratification from the other way, and that world is almost a sort of satire of our own world.
I see.
And so the dream world is created based on that. So in another way, if you think about Rainbow Vale, right? That's a book. that's just an exercise that Dr. F suggested. But because the dream world is literally made out of dreams, the act of writing the book caused Rainbow Vale to become real in that.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's
so
why Nalith was like not phased at all.
Yep, because now
Okay.
in this particular reality, Rainbow Vale is real. So that's going to be one of the chapters is the characters, living in Rainbow Vale, with some of even their own memories having been rewritten of their old lives. And then dealing with that, and then, what if there's like a forbidden section of the library that contains like information about what their lives were like before Rainbow Vale existed, and there's going to be all sorts of cool, dreamy stuff happening there.
Fantastic.
So yeah, that is awesome. Did you want to pull up the Kickstarter page? I think
Yeah,
you said you wanted to
let's.
ask some questions about the different give levels and stuff.
Yes. Okay. So,
By the way, I'm glad that you liked it, and I think you did a great job with the voice acting and stuff. It was super fun to chat with you.
well, thank you. I know I don't have very
Yeah.
much range, but I do love voices.
Well, we may need more voice actors in the future because while the cast is cast, that's an
Mm-hmm.
odd thing. While the cast is cast at the moment, there's going to be like more side characters and stuff that open up as the game progresses and everything.
Hit me up.
So awesome. Yeah, happy to do that.
All right. So this is the Kickstarter page.
Yay, Kickstarter.
You got 64 backers. That's amazing.
Yeah. It would have been more. Twitter is kind of like suppressing outside links and
Oh
like
yeah, trust me,
deboosting
I
LGBT
understand.
content. So it's harder to get attention now than it was in the past. So that's one of the reasons why I may have put my goal a little higher than it should have been because I underestimated the impact that Twitter would have.
Unfortunately, Twitter is one of my biggest
Hmm.
ways to get the word out too.
Yep. It's very frustrating.
Yeah, if you guys want to play the demo for yourself, maybe make different choices than I did, the demo
Yep.
is on the Kickstarter.
There's a whole nother epilogue path,
Mm-hmm.
which has a different thing happen.
Okay. Let me just read it.
Sure.
Okay. When fairy tales dream of real life. Living the Dream is a visual novel that shifts between a dream world and reality. Close your eyes and you might wake up in a new world, in a different body, and you might not ever want to go back home. Meet Nalith, born as a warrior princess, raised to be a huntress in a deeply matriarchal society. She's always felt different and dreamed of living a different kind of life. Then one day, the mysterious Reeve visits her village and says he's from a world where nobody has to hunt. The next day, Nalith wakes up and finds she has become Reeve, living his life, working at his office, and in our real world. She's never been happier, but Reeve doesn't understand why. After all, Reeve has always dreamed of living in Nalith's world and being a princess. Living the Dream is a visual novel adventure that explores the nature of identity, inverts the themes of many classical fairy tales, and challenges what it means to follow your dreams. You might also find your one true love in the least likely of places. Baby. The dream world, the real world, and the characters all evolve with your choices. For example, at the end of the demo, Nalith offers the chance to swap souls with Reeve and can trade lives forever. Would you accept the deal, even if it meant you have to leave your soulmate behind? The game also features a unique story structure where each chapter features a different character telling their own story from their own perspective. Question: is this based on Gaston?
Uh, Sherry?
Oh shit! I
Is
saw the
Sherry
red and
based on
yellow.
Gaston? No.
I saw the red and yellow and I was like, oh, maybe. No. Okay. Sorry, I didn't recognize her.
Actually, if I tell you the character that she was inspired by, you won't make the connection at all. But like, I was actually a little bit inspired by Charlie from Has Been Hotel.
Really?
Yeah, I know the personalities aren't that similar, but like, I can't explain too much without doing like some super like late story spoilers. But yeah, that's kind of where I was. That's a big thing, and later we'll hear a little Has Been Hotel connection in this Kickstarter page. So I'll shut up for now.
Hell yeah, I love Half Hotel. A branching story will evolve as you play through the full game, with no right or wrong answers, no bad endings or fail states, and no one true ending. The roughly 1 hour demo features an A-list story, but depending on your choices, you could have two different tales featuring two different protagonists for Chapter 2. Your next chapter could feature learning more about Lavinia, the Sea Witch who once destroyed Atlantis with capitalism, or Esme, the Duchess of Randomness who is bored in paradise. Each character has a unique journey, flitting between worlds, exploring who they really are. Find your one true love, become your true self, and discover where you truly belong. In Living the Dream, you can switch souls with your counterpart. You can fall madly in love with your worst enemy. And you can create a queer wizard school book series as a therapy exercise, then accidentally bring it to life for real. Not just another visual novel. Living the Dream will also feature autosave at major choices, so you don't have to worry about forgetting to save. A progress map automatically fills in as you play, so no digging through spoil-filled guides to discover what you missed. The game will feature full voice acting, an original soundtrack, and a creative team that features diversity in multiple ways across the LGBT spectrum, culture, country of origin, neurodiversity, body type, and much more. The runtime will mostly be 12 plus hours with a script length of about 100,000 words long. Living the Dream is created, written, and coded by T.F. Wright, our guest, any pronouns, who previous games include Wicked Willow and The Pirate's Fate. That one you were telling me about. Nope. I will look at that later.
Yeah.
Unique perspectives. Living the Dream will celebrate the ways in which our unique perspectives and identities help shape our hopes, dreams, and fears. Creative T.F. Wright has worked in fast food, charity fundraising, and even once worked as staff on a presidential campaign. The story will reflect the lived experiences of the whole creative team. Proudly AI-free. Hooray. All of the art for this game is proudly done by real human beings. No AI artwork here. Pledge now. If you want to support this game, pledge now and help us hit our stretch goals, including an original song featuring Chi-Chi of Hazbin Hotel. We also have a chess minigame planned in which the main cast become chess pieces, with gameplay inspired by roguelikes such as Shotgun King. I'm a bit nervous about that 36k goal. Do you really want me to go through with it? Oh boy. So, okay, so 10k is the game funded, 12k is the original song, 15k is the chess minigame, 20k is secret ghost story route. 25k is a spin-off comic, which I would love that. 35k would be animated cutscenes. 36k, T.F. Wright trades his soul with Lavinia the Sea Witch and does a live dev stream as her. Would that be the VTuber?
Yeah, that's how I was thinking about fulfilling that one, because yeah, I think it would be fun, and I even tried to do like a voice for her sometimes. Like when I'm asked to read for her, I try to give her like this like funny Southern accent, like,
Oh,
oh,
nice.
thank you so much, darling. It's so happy to see you.
All right, and we got Discord, we got Twitter, press kit. Oh, nice. Please join the Discord if you want to participate in the community, and thanks so much for your support.
Yep.
Harley Armstrong. I don't know who that is. Are they in the Discord?
Yes.
Nice.
She's in the Discord. Yeah, she's very talented. I'm very lucky to be working with her.
Yeah, like all these are really pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And well thought out. I like all of them have homages, or like this one is clearly Alice in Wonderland, but also mentions Kansas, which is a little Wizard of Ozzy, sorta.
Yeah, I was toying. I'm not 100% sure because I don't have everything outlined, but one of the ideas I had for her was that all of her dreams, like she dreams she's in like a movie theater, so all of her knowledge about Earth is just from movies.
Oh, interesting.
Thought that would be fun.
Very nice. I like her horns also.
Yeah, I like them too. Yeah, it's kind of like obviously this one's a little bit like Shrek inspired.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she kind of has a flavor on her own, and I'm kind of partial to what I don't know if there's a technical term for it in art, but I call it the sweet and sour design philosophy, and that is that like a character will work better if they have elements that kind of clash with each other combined. So like, Ugni is like she's supposed to be like big and scary, but she's also kind of like cute and feminine at the same time, right?
Yeah.
And I think that makes her character kind of work. Um if you look at Esme, she is this very like girliness to her, but if you look at her personality, like the way she talks and her facial expressions, she kind of has a manic, almost like Harley Quinn like
Oh yeah, I definitely got
scariness.
that.
So the littlest, most delicate character is also the one that appears to be the most like um
Threatening.
threatening, exactly. So I,
Yeah.
I feel like that's the way of sweet and souring that character. And every character has a kind of has an element like that to their design in some way.
They're multifaceted.
Yeah, I mean, because that's ultimately, I think, like people are multifaceted, right? And that's what I mean
Exactly.
by retelling fairy tales, because a lot of fairy tales just come down to like do as you're told or else, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the point, and that's the way they were intended. Like the person that wrote Pinocchio said that he wrote it because he was a Christian and he was trying to tell people like don't sin or you'll go to hell, and that was the message of the story in his mind, right? And that's why a lot of the
Not the way
adventures
it
of
came across. But
Yeah, I mean, some of the adventures of Pinocchio are kind of Bible allegories, like can he get swallowed by a whale in one part or something?
yeah.
So you can understand kind of where he was coming from, but yeah, I mean, like, I think we've kind of grown up enough that we don't have to have just do as you're told or else be the message of every story. You can have complicated people struggling with complicated questions, and, it doesn't have to be that basic, right?
And then there's like the grim fairy tales that just
Yeah,
go off on entirely different tangents.
yeah, they do. I mean, like, I think what's interesting to me is that fairy tales, they're such fertile ground. Like we all grew up reading them as kids, right? We all have this childhood connection to fairy tales. But at the same time, fairy tales also didn't really represent us because they didn't really have like LGBT characters, unless they were like queer-coded villain characters, like in some Disney stories, right? But they didn't really have any LGBT characters, and they
Exactly,
didn't
yeah.
they didn't really have any complicated characters. They rarely had characters who were sort of honored for their individuality in a meaningful way. There's a couple of exceptions, like a Mulan or something like that, but most of the time they didn't even go that far. And so that's the thing is it's like, you have this collection of stories where we have an emotional connection to it, but we also didn't really get a chance to see ourselves in it. And that's why I thought fairy tales would be such a special setting to people.
Yeah, I can definitely understand. Because,
And
yeah,
oh, go ahead.
no, it's okay.
We have a bunch of different like rewards for people. So you can get the game for just $18, but if you want to support the game at a higher level, we had a bunch of different ideas. So one idea was if you go up to the $49 level, then you can get access to the Coven, which is going to be like a special section of the Discord where you can chat with people who are on the creative team. You get to see the first playthroughs of the game while it's in development and offer your suggestions. Um, at the $69 level, you get 4 Steam keys. So if you're someone that's a streamer and you want to give away keys, or you want to support your favorite streamer with giveaway keys, you essentially get the keys at a discount.
Oh, nice.
At the 250 level, we have custom short story, which is you can get like a custom story written by me about your favorite character, and that could be like the character's backstory or extended epilogue or what have you. One person did that. It didn't show up there because I essentially like I created it after someone did like a custom request basically. But one person signed up and they said that his favorite character was Gina, so we're gonna have like a Gina origin story ebook, which is gonna be pretty cool.
Very nice. I can see why they would like Gina.
Yeah, Gina is definitely super fun. And then at the top level, we have the Dream Maker tier where you can insert your own character like into the game. And if you have like a character or a persona, OC, whatever it is, I can try to find a way to make it work. There's a bunch of different ways that your character can exist in the story. Obviously, we have Rainbow Veil, so your character could be like a student or a professor. There's going to be different chapters where you go to different locations. Um, one of the adventures that Ugni and Esme were going to do were they were going to explore this like labyrinth to find this treasure. And so I was like, oh, I wanted to have like a riddle giving monster guarding the treasure, and so somebody signed up to do that.
Ooh,
But
very
but
nice.
yeah, I have like a bunch of different roles, and if you're interested, like I said, just join the Discord, send me a message. I'm happy to like talk about your character and what parts of the story that they could help with, and yeah, I mean, I think that if you look at Pirates Fate, we had a bunch of cameos for that game, and I think they kind of enriched the game because there was such a diverse array of interesting side characters, right? And that's
Hmm.
because we had such an awesome group of people who wanted to back the story. So you're not just getting a chance to see your character in the game, you actually can improve your story by having your cool character have a role in it. So whatever you want to do, I greatly appreciate it.
Yes. Any help would be perfect.
Eee. And your character looks cool. I think I said I wanted to talk to you about that when we had a moment. So your
Yeah.
character is named. You have a bunch of names. Would you prefer me to call them Puck?
Yeah.
Okay, so your character is named Puck, and they are a Fae. Uh, that looks. Is the little markings on the skin for Puck? Is that like a tattoo, or is that just their natural coloring
It's tattoos.
as a tattoo? Is there like a special significance to the tattoo?
Yes. Okay. So Puck was born into a tribalistic village of
Mm-hmm.
thieves,
Mm-hmm.
and with every deed that they do, be it like stealing from the castle or like killing something
Mm-hmm.
or things of that nature, they receive a marking.
Mm-hmm.
And so his tattoos are his various deeds over the time that he
Mm-hmm.
has been alive. Um,
Oh, so he's stolen a lot of things.
yes. I
Ooh,
actually have a another picture of him because there's a reason
that's
why his
really
tail is a
cool.
nub. He did
Oh, what?
not. He was not born with a nub tail.
Oh, what happened to his tail?
So in the story that I'm writing for him, he was in an accident in the middle of a heist,
Oh,
and he was saved by. Okay, here's the other picture that has his tail. He was saved by the main character of my story, Oberon,
oh,
who is a runaway prince. There's a whole thing. But he was saved by Oberon for being drowned, basically. He had stolen from a sea witch, ironic,
mm-mm. I like
and
it.
was being dragged into the water by his tail, essentially.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think this character could work because I kind of hint that there is a character who is really interested in stealing. Um, I mentioned that Dr. F had a patient that was a kleptomaniac, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I mention in another section of the game where Gina says that she was only rescued by the goblins because a thief stole her. So I
Ah.
actually do know who that character is going to be. I don't know if I should spoil it, but technically you have seen this character already in the demo.
Oh,
So
interesting.
you can process of elimination figure out who that character might be, but you've already met them.
See, now I'm
Um,
going to be pondering this.
yeah. It's probably not Nalith because we've gotten to know
Yeah,
Nalith
no.
pretty well. But yeah, you've already met that character. And so that was actually one of the things I was thinking about doing was potentially having like a thing where maybe Gina does like a group therapy session and talks to several different people who were involved in kleptomania,
Mm-hmm.
because I was thinking about how different thieves might be motivated to steal different types of items, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is Puck motivated to steal anything in particular?
So Puck is basically a magpie. He's attracted to shiny, high value objects.
High value, okay.
So
I
when
like
he
it.
was stealing from the sea witch, it was a pearl of particular shine.
Ooh,
Um, yeah. So he was attempting to steal it anyway, but he got
okay.
caught.
I like that. The character that is going to be the thief that Gina was referring to, the thief that stole Gina,
Hmm.
is going to be attracted to stealing items that have emotional significance to people, right?
Ah,
So he
interesting,
wants to steal
interesting.
a diary or a grandmother's locket or whatever, right?
Hmm.
So that's an interesting. I can almost see this is why. As a I don't know how if you feel this way as a writer, but in terms of my writing, I always feel like a good idea just kind of writes itself, you know?
Yeah.
So when I'm thinking about this, I can already hear the two characters talking. I can hear, this. I can hear Puck saying like, "Oh yeah, like I like that. I like things that are valuable, because they're shiny, right? Because
Hmm.
they're beautiful and sparkling, and the item is just calling out to you, right?"
Yeah. It's like a
And then
siren song.
exactly, a siren song. And then, the other character is kind of like, well, I also prefer items that are valuable, but like I don't care about their aesthetics. I care about their value to other people. If I know the item will be missed terribly because I stole it, that just makes it more thrilling because I know that like, oh, that person's going to be so sad because items are replaceable.
Yeah, of course.
So I can feel like I can hear them talking to each other already in my mind.
Yeah.
Do you want to know the person's secret identity? A tiny bit of a spoiler, but I can tell you if you
Ah,
want to hear it.
is it Peter?
It is Peter.
I thought so.
Yes, it is Peter, and he's gonna have his own chapter where you get to explore all of that.
Oh, wonderful.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely think that definitely could be part of Peter's thing. The fact that Peter is able to access, Peter is able to dream, right? He saw
Hmm.
Dr. F, right?
Yes.
So he could see other people in the world too, which could be interesting. But yeah, I
Very
I think
nice.
I think this is a really cool character. Is there a specific like personality type that you like for him?
Okay, so aside from being basically kleptomaniac after shiny things,
Hmm.
he's also somewhat um okay, so he is a character. He's like mischievous,
Hmm.
but he also has a sense of um innocence to him.
Hmm.
He doesn't understand much of what he wasn't raised on. So he
Hmm.
doesn't understand why certain things are wrong.
Hmm.
And he does not really understand things other than you are an enemy or you are a friend. So he doesn't understand complicated relationships. And that's one of the
Hmm.
things that I'm writing about in my story with him and Oberon. Because they are eventually going to become an item,
Hmm.
but not for a long time. Not for a long time. Mostly because Oberon has a lot of growing to do, and
Hmm.
Puck needs to learn that not everything shiny needs to be stolen, especially if you are going cross country in secret.
Yeah, I definitely let me take a look here. Uh yeah, I definitely know what you mean. I feel like that's kind of a theme that I want to do in this game as well. Like if you look at Ugni and Esme, for example, they're
Hmm.
kind of a cute couple, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, you're also getting these kind of a bit of the scary vibes from Esme.
Yeah, and I'm afraid that Ugni will get hurt.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I wanted to explore was that you have someone
He.
like Ugni who's never known love before. She's never had a family, never had friends, never had anybody. And all of a sudden she runs into Esme, who not only is nice to her, but like idolizes her, right?
Yeah, that's.
And so
Yeah, sorry.
you get love bombed in that way when you're so vulnerable and inexperienced and starved for affection like Ugni.
Hmm.
That it's going to put you in a situation where you're probably willing to ignore some red flags, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's going to resonate with a lot of people. I mean, it's definitely something that I've had in my own life, but I think a lot of other people have been in that situation where when you really are hungry for love, you can sort of talk yourself into making a bad decision just because you really, really want it to work out.
Yeah. You're not.
Especially,
You're not seeing it.
yeah, especially like LGBT people, because there's two extra factors that LGBT people have to deal with. On the one hand, I think LGBT people are going to be like more starved for affection because you don't get to show your true self. That means it's just less chances for people to love you, and you're also more likely to have a situation where you've been rejected by your family or friends. So that makes you extra hungry. But it can also make you in a situation where if you haven't shown yourself to that many people, you also feel like you might just not have that many opportunities to even find someone. So you might sort of
Be desperate.
erroneously,
Yeah.
exactly, you might latch onto the first thing that comes your way and then get really, really, really hurt. Um, because you're not willing to sort of, you overlook the red flag, and then once you're in that really tough situation, then yeah, it could be tough. So yeah, that's a little bit of a sad story, but I think it's also a story that I don't hear told very often.
Yeah, it's a necessary thing.
And it doesn't mean that all of Ugni's chapter is going to be sad, just because
No.
that one part of it may have a tinge of sadness. And it may also be the case that maybe Nate and Esme can have a reconciliation later on. We don't know, but I thought that would be an interesting story. So when you tell me about this couple that you had in your head, and you're like, well, it can't really work out right now because they have some growing to do, that kind of
Yeah.
reminded me of what I have planned for Ugni and Esme. So I feel like you and I are in kind of like, um we're kind of on like similar creative wavelength, as it were.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a picture of Oberon as well.
Sure, sure. Feel free, chat, by the way, if you have any questions about anything, to just let me ask. Oh,
Ask away.
is that a picture of them together?
Yes.
That is such a cute picture. Oh my gosh.
I did it for Inktober one year. It was really cute.
You did a what now?
I did it for Inktober one year.
Inktober. Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
drawing thing. A drawing challenge.
I am not an artist, unfortunately. I'm not even really a coder. I taught myself how to code, and I don't really think I'm a good coder. Surprisingly, the fact that I suck as a coder actually makes me a good coder.
Exactly, because you're more
Like,
of a perfectionist.
well, kind of, yeah. It's because I'm not a coder, it gives me a different mindset, which allows me to sort of figure out how to fix problems that coders sometimes struggle with. And so that helps. Like, I'll give you a fun story. You want to hear a fun development story?
Sure.
So when I was making Pirate's Fate, I wasn't using RenPy. RenPy is the engine you should be using. If anyone's curious, just use RenPy. But I was using a different engine, Visual Novel Maker. And I was using it because it was new at the time, and the developer of the engine promised us marketing support if we used it, because we were going to be like the first generation that used it. And there was a problem where whenever there was a cutscene, if you press the escape button during a cutscene, the game would crash.
Oh, that's not good.
So I tried to fix it, couldn't fix it. I asked several coders to fix it, they couldn't fix it. So I finally tracked down the person that made the engine in Japan, and I was like, please fix this. And he couldn't fix it. He couldn't figure out what was wrong. So eventually he just said, just ship the game anyway. Lots of games have bugs.
That doesn't sit right.
This was about 1 week before launch.
Oh, no.
And I was also doing a convention with my wife at the time. So I was like going off of no sleep 1 week to launch, trying to fix this. And every programmer I talked to couldn't figure out what the problem was. And I'm not a programmer. So I realized I can't figure out what the problem is. It's impossible. What's the next best thing to figuring out what the problem is? It's creating a situation where the problem will never occur. So what I came up with was the idea of, whenever there's a cutscene, 2 seconds before the cutscene begins, I simply disable all keyboard recognition.
Oh, yeah, that'd work.
So you can't press the escape key because the game won't recognize any inputs from the keyboard.
That's smart.
It's a terrible solution, right? You should try to fix it, but it's just like, what? Like, it stopped the game from crashing, right? The game will not crash.
Yeah.
No,
see,
and
that's smart.
It kind of, yeah, but I credit myself with not being a coder, because I think the average coder would think, identify the problem, repair the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the sort of logic that you can go with. And I was helpful that I was outside of the mindset, so it helped a little bit. But yeah, I mean, but I bring this up to say, like, I am not an artist at all. I have tried to do art many times, it's never really worked out. I would love to get better at it, because just because I really like art, but my art's always going to be very rudimentary.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I guess so. I will try my best. But yeah, I mean, whatever. I admire you for being able to do art and writing, though. That's very, most people can only do, like, most people. It takes a lot of time to get good at just one. So getting good at two things is good. I'll send you a picture. Sorry, chat, you can't see the picture, but I'll send you a picture. Does that look like a good picture?
Oh, that's adorable.
That is the best picture I drew. I took like 3 months, or not 3 months. I took like 3 weeks off last year, and I tried to teach myself how to do art, and I drew that picture, and that was like I did like 10 different tries, and that was the one that turned out the best. So I did Charlie from Has Been Hotel, who I really like.
Okay, so first off, it's not bad. Second, it's recognizable, which is the most important part.
Yeah, I didn't draw that completely on my own. There was a drawing tutorial that said like how to draw Charlie, and I, took some inspiration from that.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get the lines all on my own, but I didn't trace it or anything. I drew it on my own. Um, and yeah, Charlie is such a fun character, right? I mean, because I actually like the song better than the actual episode, if that makes sense.
That is very fair.
Because the song is she's trying to be nice, but she's a demon and she doesn't really understand what nice is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you actually listen to the song really closely, all the stuff that Charlie suggests is actually kind of mean.
Yeah.
Like she's going to throw away drugs right in front of drug addicts and like make them cry. Or another time she throws a puppy off of a cloud, right?
Uh-huh.
Like it's actually a little bit mean-spirited, but if from the perspective of a demon, of course, her version of being nice is going to be a little bit sadistic, right?
Yes, of course.
And the problem is that that's actually like that's a really interesting concept of like a sadistic mean demon who wants to be nice, but their version of nice is like incredibly twisted. It's kind of like did you see what's it called? The Halloween Tree? No, not that one. I'm sorry. Nightmare Before Christmas.
That is my favorite movie.
Okay. Okay, we're definitely on the same creative page. Okay.
Yes.
So you know how when Jack Skellington wanted to do Christmas,
But he made it
he made it all
real
Halloween-y,
twisted.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's who he is.
Yeah.
And that was
And
the
that's what
vibe
he
that I got from
knows.
Charlie, is that she wanted to be nice, but because she's a demon, she's doing nice in a kind of evil way, which is
Yeah.
cool. But the rest of the episode didn't do that. The rest of the episode, Charlie's just kind of a nice person and doesn't have any nuance at all.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that was so frustrating to me. It was like there was this divide creatively between the song, which is the thing most people like about the show, and then the rest of the episode, which had kind of uneven pacing and kind of almost devolved the character so that she's just kind of a typical innocent girl protagonist and doesn't really have like an identity anymore.
I think, unfortunately, that was because they were trying to make Alistair worse.
Yeah, but you see that you don't even need Alistair's character. Like it's like the song itself. Like I'm not saying he shouldn't have been in the show, but I'm just saying that like you don't need his character to contrast with hers, and he could just kind of be his own person. And like that's the thing that was so strange. It was like so first they did that, and then the second thing that was so strange was that they made Hell of a Boss as like a spinoff, but then that was the only one that actually got any episodes, and they still haven't made episode 2 of Has Been Hotel, right?
Yeah.
Like why did they do that? Did they explain why they did that?
I don't think they did, but I had hopes that with more episodes, they would explore Charlie further.
I sure hope that they do. I mean, they talked
Especially
about
with her connection to her father and her mother.
yeah, like I think that would be great. So yeah, that's a big inspiration to me in terms of this project is that whole thing and like, there is going to be a chapter that is a little bit like underworld themed that's going to sort of pull in some inspiration there. I don't want to explain it too much because I don't want to do too many spoilers, but yeah, I mean,
Underworld as in the place or Underworld as in the film franchise?
as in the place, like a hell
Ah,
chapter,
nice.
right? So there is going to be a hell chapter which should be super fun.
So I've never drawn Charlie, but I have drawn Angel Dust and Alistair.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, Angel Dust is another really cool character.
I love Angel Dust to death.
Yeah, I mean, there really aren't that many like feminine male characters, right? There really just aren't that many, and I mean, I wish I included more in this game. When I think back on the character design, like I was like, I should have more feminine male characters. Like Peter is a little bit feminine,
A little
but
bit.
like, I kind of imagined Peter and Esme kind of being almost like Team Rocket, like Jesse and James.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I can see that.
But like obviously like Peter as described isn't quite as flamboyant as James is. I mean maybe I should have just gone in that direction. Maybe that would have made the project better.
Peter doesn't get a page. Okay, sorry.
He doesn't get it. No, he doesn't. I don't have a I don't have a character card for every person yet. It was difficult to design those. I had to go through several versions and stuff, and yeah, but
I
it
love
it was
their little icons.
yeah, we had someone the voice actor for Esme
Mm-hmm.
designed these little character cards.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. We have a really cool cast. One of the little YouTube videos, you don't have to play it right now, but one of the little YouTube videos on the Kickstarter is I do the little interviews with each cast member.
Let me see. Where is that?
So,
This one?
yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I feel very, blessed is the wrong word, but I feel very fortunate to work with so many people.
Yeah, I am surprised with how big your team is.
It is a really cool team. I mean, like, and that's why I mean, I posted a video yesterday in the Discord as I was saying that, like, I quit my fundraising job to become a writer and a creative person.
Mm-hmm.
In real life, that was what happened. And in the game, I have Reeve kind of get burned out doing a fundraising job also. And unfortunately, one of the difficult realities of being involved in indie game development is that you do have to do things like this, right? I'm doing a Kickstarter, which is a fundraiser, right?
Yeah.
So I always feel a little bit uncomfortable, pushing things. I feel uncomfortable telling people like, "Hey, please give me money so I can make this happen," because I know it is a tough time right now. People are struggling, and there's a little part of me that just wishes I could just kind of put a game out there, let the product speak for itself, and if people want to give me money, they can. But I don't ever have to bother anybody, you know?
Yeah, I definitely understand. I have to do fundraising a lot.
Mhm.
And like my commissions are always open, but I would love
Yep.
to do art for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that
Just
that was what I would like to do. I'd like to just I would love to just chat with people about stuff like you're a creative person and we're just chatting about creative ideas.
Mhm.
I would love to just chat with people without this burden of saying, "Oh yeah," and then like, you should do X and like, and give me money. Like I do it always makes me feel uncomfortable to push things like that. But the reality is that I have a really wonderful team.
Mhm. And they
I have
deserve to be paid.
They deserve to be paid. And in order to make that happen, I need to ask people to give money. And we have a few days left in the campaign. We're far off, but if a small number of very generous people want to make it happen, you can get there. So, and even
Most
if
definitely.
you can't do a big thing, like I said, if you want to do something small, it's still appreciated, even if we don't quite get to the goal. And if we don't get to the goal, then nobody gets charged. It all gets automatically refunded. But even if we don't actually get there, I still appreciate the thought. The thought always counts.
Question.
Sure.
If you do not get funded and there was like a better method of spreading the word, would you try again?
Yes. I have thought about that because of the reality that obviously it is a short period of time left
Mm-hmm.
and the campaign is not close to the goal right now. I have thought about what I would do differently. So I could relaunch the Kickstarter with maybe a lower goal and, more aggressive marketing strategy. I could, try to do a different platform. Like I could do Indiegogo instead of Kickstarter. Indiegogo allows you to get the money even if you don't hit a certain arbitrary number.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it tends to get less support overall because there's less like people. It's just kind of a less of a well-known name.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I could also do if I wanted to, if I simply said, look, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like Kickstarter. It's just too stressful to do fundraisers. Another thing I could do is I could just put my PayPal out there and be like, hey, like, let's just see how much money we can get for the people that, really want to help support this project. Just do what you can and we'll see what we can do. That's another thing that I thought about doing. So yeah, I mean the project is too good to just let disappear completely. I'm not
Yeah.
going to give up on it.
I
I
agree.
definitely will. I'll try to find some way to make it happen, but it will probably take longer if we
Mm-hmm.
don't hit the goal, right? I can't
Yeah.
guarantee when it will happen versus I have made two other games before.
Mm-hmm.
So if the goal is hit, I can guarantee that we'll probably finish the game in about 18 months
Oh,
because
that's
that's how
quick.
long it took me. Yeah, I mean, it took me 18 months to make Wicked Willow. This one
Nice.
will, this one will probably also take me 18 months. This one's a little bit more complicated than Wicked Willow. It's a bigger game that will take more development time.
Mm-hmm.
But the difference is that when I made Wicked Willow, I did the Kickstarter for that. I didn't actually have a demo. I didn't have chapter one. I didn't have most of the art done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm further along in development now than I was when I made Wicked Willow. So that helps kind of balance it out. So I think, yeah, 18 months, December of next year, the game will probably be out if we get there.
Have you considered making a Patreon?
I actually did a Patreon in the past. So back when I was doing short stories,
Mm-hmm.
um, I had a creative partner. It was the artist for Pirates Fate. We actually did a series of short stories together that were like illustrated,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a Patreon for the short stories, and that was very difficult to do because um like it didn't really grow. Like it just kind of hit a certain number, and then like people just didn't really sign up after that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Unfortunately, yeah.
so, yeah, Patreon kind of works if you're producing content on an ongoing basis. So if you're producing an ebook, ebooks are not really ongoing enough, in my opinion, because like unless you're going to do an ebook every single month, and that can be hard to coordinate. You can do it, but it didn't really work. But like if you're doing like a comic, or you're doing a series of pictures, or you're doing a podcast, or some sort of thing where people can sort of constantly talk to you and see how you're doing, Patreon works. Or even if you're doing a text-based game, say, and you're like uploading a new chapter every week, like Corruption of Champions. Has anyone heard of that?
I have not.
Corruption of Champions was a text-based game that was very successful on Patreon because they just updated it a little bit every single week, basically. But a
Okay.
visual novel can't really be updated on a weekly basis. There's going to be periods where there's almost no update at all, and then there's going to be other periods where there's like huge amount of content produced extremely quickly. It's not really an ongoing project. It's a finite project that will have a certain amount of like finiteness to it. Like, let me give you an example. So, the voice acting, this game's gonna be fully voice acted, just like Wicked Willow was fully voice acted. I'm not gonna do any voice acting recording until like a year from now, and that's because if I'm making changes to the script, any changes require the voice actors to re-record their lines, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to write the entire script, code the entire game, and then show it to people and get people's feedback, and then make tweaks based on feedback. And then only after basically the entire game is already done, then I'm going to say, okay, voice actors, record all your lines. So there'll be this big pause in development while I get all the voice actors all coordinated to basically all do it at once, right? Is like basically the last thing to do before the project is over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like an ongoing thing where I add a little bit more voice lines every month. Like that just doesn't really make sense. So I like Patreon if I was doing a comic. Like if I was working with an artist and I was just doing like a little comic and I was just doing like one page every month or whatever it was, then Patreon would kind of make sense because people could be like, oh, I wonder what this month will be. I wonder what this month will be. And there's a kind of relationship to the monthly support. But if I'm just making a game like this and I'm getting monthly support, people might think like, hey, like why is TF taking so long? Just so we can get more money from Patreon? You know what I mean? Like the sense of like there isn't a sense of progression that's tied to a monthly amount of money. So I think it might not work. I mean, maybe I could revisit it, I don't know, but like maybe I could change the way the game works so that there is a progression of some kind. Maybe if possible, I could do it so that I wrote it fast enough that I could do one chapter per month. I mean, this chapter took way more than 1 month, let me tell you though.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I don't think I could do one chapter per month. And maybe I could do like a quarter of a chapter per month. I don't know. I mean, if people think that would be better, then yeah. I know some people kind of prefer more of a one and done type of a thing, right? And then there are some people that might say like, why should I support this game for $2 a month or I don't know how many months when I can just like buy the game for X amount of dollars later, right?
Okay, so the reason why I brought up Patreon
Mm-hmm.
is because of two reasons. One,
Okay.
people love Dev Notes.
Yeah.
And two, I supported a game on Patreon um, that has become an alpha so far
Oh, cool.
called. I'm drawing a blank. I have the game on my computer. um, but it's a game where you're a cat and you wander around a city in Maine.
Wait, I think I've seen this. Yeah, the cat simulator thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen this game. It looked kind of cool.
it is very cool. But it had different tier levels.
Okay.
That's why I got into it, is because I could do a small payment per month and
Hmm.
build up to earn different rewards
That is cool.
rather than bulk payment because small payments are easier for me.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand that. I definitely understand that small payments are easier for a lot of people. So yeah, that maybe I should reconsider that, especially if I, especially um if that's something that most people tell me that they want. I mean, maybe I should do like a poll or something and be like, "Hey, what do you want to see? Do you want to see like a Patreon? Do you want to see like a new Kickstarter, what have you?" Like, and yeah, and I guess I could just if people want to do a bulk thing, I could just have my PayPal open, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. I know I, my Patreon's been like de-launched because Patreon de-launches you like if you haven't produced anything in like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I could look into how much work it would be to like turn it back on. Uh, but that's a good idea. I will definitely consider that.
It's gonna drive me nuts if I can't figure out what the hell the name is.
Cat simulator game.
Yeah, let me just go on Patreon.
Uh,
Oh, Lord.
cat simulator.
No, it's not called Cat Simulator. It is Peace Island.
Peace Island.
Yep.
Peace.
And they have 3 tiers. They have a $1 tier, which just gets you to the feed.
Mm-hmm.
$5, which you get Patreon feed, game alphas. If you stay for 2 months, you get the beta. If you stay for
Mm-hmm.
5 months, you get the postcard set, which I've gotten that, and an advanced copy of the game. And then 10 months, you get the art
Yeah.
print, which I also got.
And you're
Um,
telling me that you didn't have a period where like you just got the dev notes. You didn't get to like play a more advanced version every single month. Dev notes was enough.
yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. I can do podcasts. I can do whatever. I can do. I feel like I'm good at talking, right? I kind of put people ask like, "Hey, did you base Reeve on yourself?" And the answer is no, I didn't. I mean, there are some elements of the game where like there are some elements of Reeve that are similar to me, like the fact that we had the same jobs and stuff, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like my personality is more like Nalith, right? Where I have I feel like maybe talk too much at times. But
But
yeah,
yeah.
thank you so much for an amazing stream. Did you have
Of
any like
course.
final questions for me about anything?
Let me think.
Okay.
Hmm. That'd be spoilery. Never mind.
You can ask a spoiler question.
Let me think.
I don't mind spoiling it if you're okay with it.
So, I have forgotten her name again.
Lavinia.
Yeah. Does she have a foil? I think that it mentioned that she also could dream, so yes, probably.
So I had an idea for her character, but you're gonna laugh if you hear it, right?
Uh huh.
So I had the idea that when she's in the real world, she is a exotic fish
Really?
in a fish tank in a really rich person's office.
Okay.
And she just sits there floating in the fish tank doing absolutely nothing. But occasionally, the business guy, the rich guy has these business deals, right? Where people
Mm-hmm.
come in and they do business, and she just listens to people talk about finance and real estate and things like that. And that's where she picks up her knowledge about deal making and everything, right? Collateralized loan obligation. All of
Yeah.
that is from her time essentially being you know, a fish in a fish
Photographer-ish.
tank.
Nice. Okay, that
And,
is hilarious.
I was even thinking potentially like maybe she doesn't even have to be an actual fish. Maybe it could just be her, just as herself in the fish tank. And then some people look, it's like, oh, I never seen a fish like that before. And then they just kind of like just shrug and move on. They don't even care, right?
There's like a mini version.
Yeah, just like a little mini version of her in the little fish tank, and they're like, "Oh yeah, like what is that? Is that like a baby squid? Is that I had no idea squids had like human-like features when they were babies." And then yeah, then she just watches this thing. So yeah, I had a whole thing for her. Like I wanted her to have this like this like really difficult childhood where like she's made fun of because she has like a speech impediment, right?
Uh-huh.
And then that's why I say
New
Naileth notices
voice.
she gets the new voice and everything, right? So she's made fun of because she has a speech impediment, and then she winds up in an orphanage because like her mom passes away and everything, and then she kind of you know embraces the dark side, if you will, when she has these dreams and learns about all this capitalism stuff, basically. So that was the plan that I had, but it's not set in stone. Potentially I'm gonna tweak that. But I thought it would be interesting to have her go from this position of total powerlessness, just being like in a fish tank, which is kind of like a prison, right?
Uh-huh.
To being someone that's so incredibly powerful, in the dream world.
And influential, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that would be a fun contrast, and um, so that was what that's the tentative plan, but none of that's coded. I did kind of a rough draft of it, but none of it's like finalized coded.
Even as an idea, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I thought people would like it.
You could pull a do you know what a blue dragon oh shit, is it a fish? Blue dragon sea slug. Where they look really, really deflated when they're out of water, but then they look spectacular when they're in water.
Oh, that's interesting. No, I've never heard of that,
Let me.
but it sounds good.
Okay, let me show you. This is them out of water. They look kind of horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Nope,
It's
not
kind of
YouTube
pretty
video.
though.
Yeah, it's very pretty. And then. In water.
Mm. It does look kind of Lavinia-y.
Yeah.
Originally, her name was Annie. That was kind of the placeholder name, and then my sister suggested the name Lavinia to be like more mysterious.
Nice. Is it based
So I
on
was like,
anything?
No, I don't think so. I just kind of wanted like a name that sounded like a sea witch name.
Very fair.
Yeah, Annie was kind of, um, I mean, it was a placeholder just because I was like, what's a cool like villain-y name? And then I thought about Attack on Titan because that's my favorite anime. I remember Annie from season one. I don't know if you've seen Attack on Titan.
I have seen maybe like 3 episodes of it.
Okay. Annie's a fun character. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to ask?
Um, hmm. Plot related or anything?
It could be anything. It could be about me, about the game, about writing, whatever.
Hmm.
I like answering questions.
You said you use any pronouns? Do you have a particular identity?
I made a whole little video on that.
Really?
I called it "Finding My Flag." I haven't it listed as like unlisted right now, just because like I wasn't sure if people would like it. But like yeah, I mean uh so I'm like assigned male at birth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um and I still kind of like I think of myself as a man, right? That's how I perceive myself, right? But if somebody's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, like what if you could just like wave a magic wand and like magically, become a woman? Would you do it?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I think I would do that, right?"
Mm-hmm.
But I don't actually like so it's like so should I use the word trans? And it's like, well, I don't really want to do the work, right? I mean, it's a lot of work and I don't really feel up to doing the work for a variety of reasons. Like, one is like a phobia of like medical stuff, right?
That's very fair. As someone that
Yeah.
has gone through the beginning of the trans pipeline,
Hmm.
oof, it's a lot.
Yeah. I don't feel up to that, right? And then you can say, well, you don't have to medically transition. You could just kind of like socially transition. You could make this like persona for yourself, right? And then just be the persona online. It's like, I don't know if I really want to do that either because like I did that when I was a teenager
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of made me more depressed because it like it brought to the forefront the parts of myself that I don't really want to think about. Like just by like emphasizing the disconnect between the persona and myself, just kind of like it made me feel worse about myself, you know?
I definitely understand. So
So I yeah, so it's like what what label should I have? Like I'm very feminine, but like I'm also like I'm aware that the fact that I'm feminine actually isn't really part of my gender identity by default, right?
no.
It happens to be part of my gender identity because I'm in a femme-phobic culture. Like the culture that I grew up in says that boys shouldn't be feminine. I was teased for being feminine a lot as a kid,
Hmm.
and especially like if you are like if you're primarily attracted to women, which I am, like there really isn't a space in the culture for like a very feminine heterosexual boy, right? This is like the culture doesn't really have that as a space.
Yeah.
And so like
Unfortunately.
so is being feminine part of my gender identity? It's like I mean, in a sense it is, and in a sense it isn't. So I don't like imagine if I was in a world where boys were celebrated for being feminine. If I was in a world where boys could be princesses and me being feminine was just like the coolest thing ever, would I still feel gender dysphoria? I don't know. I might. I think I would almost certainly feel a lot less of it, right?
Yeah, of course.
So like I am aware that my gender identity isn't just something that I feel is like a fixed part of myself. It's a product of um
How
some of
you
the
grew up.
limitations of the culture, yeah, exactly, that I'm forced to kind of struggle with. So that's another way in which I'm kind of like, should I identify as like a transgender person that isn't going to transition, or should I, it would be more accurate to say genderqueer, gender nonconforming, or femboy, or whatever. I don't know. I don't really have a good label, but I've come to the realization that like um label isn't about discovering who I am because I know who I am. The label is about explaining myself
To other
to
people.
others in a concise way. And none of the labels that I have looked at do that. So for example, if I say non-binary, it's like, well, I could be non-binary, right? But like if I just say non-binary, if I just say that and that alone to someone, that
They're
doesn't
gonna
really
imagine
communicate.
androgyny and shit like that.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I mean, it shouldn't have to mean that, but if I just say that to someone, that's not going to clearly communicate the stuff I just told you, right?
Right.
So that label doesn't, like, it could technically be accurate, but it doesn't necessarily communicate. If I say genderqueer, what could that mean? Well, that could mean anything, right? It could mean a lot of things. So it could be an accurate term. It could be, but it's not necessarily a term that I'm going to use because it doesn't provide value to me by easily explaining my particular journey to people, right?
Yeah, and the more specific you are with your labels, the less people understand and or they will brush you off.
Yep. So I was just like, if people want to know, then they can ask, and I'll tell them. But yeah, I don't really feel like I don't really feel like there is a label that can describe that kind of specific situation. Because it's like there are some aspects where I feel like there's a lot of overlap between me and trans people. Like if you say like, oh well, I experienced the sense of dysphoria, or I experienced the sense of wanting to look a certain way, or what have you, right? Like I feel that, but then there's other ways that I don't feel that, right? Because it's like a lot of trans people will say like, I always knew I was a woman, right?
Yeah.
Like that's not the case for me. I don't, you know, I've always thought of myself as a man, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I've always thought of myself as a man that thinks being a woman would be really cool. Like, is that a thing? I don't know.
It's definitely a thing.
It's sort of a thing. It's sort of a thing. But it kind of depends. I mean, there have been people who have heard what I just told you and say, "Oh yeah, that's just like a different flavor of trans." And then there's other people who have said like that, you know, that's just a different flavor of gender nonconforming or whatever. So you can interpret it however you like, and that's why I say like any pronouns are okay because it's just like I don't feel like I have a particularly strong connection to like any of them exactly, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
So yeah, I hope that was a good explanation.
It was actually. It was
Yeah,
very
I'm always.
enlightening, and
Oh, thank you.
I think it was funny because we have a similar situation, just sort of backward.
Oh, what is your situation?
So I am attached to certain pronouns.
Okay.
Um, I was born AFAB, um, but my identity labels shift a lot because they don't
Hmm.
really explain my situation. So, like right now, I've settled on genderqueer with an asterisk,
Okay. I
basically.
like that.
Um, it's basically I knew I was different as a child,
Hmm.
not exactly what it was, but I have progressed from that feeling of difference to a feeling that there is something that I don't know what it is, to rejecting one side of the spectrum entirely, but playing between what is left,
Hmm.
and sometimes outside of the spectrum. Um, I know that it was enough for me to try to address it medically.
Hmm.
Um, Not doxing myself really, but I live in Florida, so that ended real abruptly
Mm.
because they made it illegal for trans healthcare on Medicaid.
Hmm.
Um, so I did start testosterone um, to try and neutralize parts of me to match the not so stable uh, identities that I have.
Hmm.
Um, but I do think that I would have stopped the testosterone fairly quickly um,
Okay.
because while it did do things for me, like lower my voice a little bit, which I
Hmm.
liked, it also caused like physical issues that I didn't like. So
Hmm.
uh, it's it's all a bit difficult to find a label that really fits you, not just in whether you're trans or not, or what gender you are, but also like in sexuality. That that's fluid for a lot of people.
Yeah, it can be difficult. Like um if you are like a non-binary or a genderqueer person and you're attracted to like only one gender, then like what is your label, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of that can be kind of a difficult thing. So I know some people use words like sapphic or trixic or something, but that's another example where like I feel like there's a lot of confusion there. Most people don't know what trixic is.
No.
And I feel like sapphic is perceived by most people to be just kind of an alternative version of lesbian. It doesn't necessarily mean like non-binary inclusive lesbian, which is how the word is kind of being redefined now, you know?
Yeah, and then there are some people that are uncomfortable with non binary people being included in sapphic because they think that
Yeah.
it's erasure.
Yeah, so that's what I'm getting at by how I feel like labels are like they're not serving their purpose for
Yeah.
so many people, and that's why I haven't really picked one because I'm just like, it's just what do I have to gain here? You know, like if some stranger looks at my profile on Twitter or whatever, like, is it really important whether they think that I'm non-binary or genderqueer or whatever? Like, is that important that they understand that about me? Like I don't know if it necessarily will matter if you and I are having a conversation and you care enough about me to hear me talk for like 5 minutes
Mm-hmm.
that I can tell you the long version and you can understand me and that's good enough for me, right? If everybody else just wants to say, oh, who is this mystery person? It's like, well, if you care enough to actually want to get to know me, you can ask, and if you don't, then what's it to you that I don't have a label, right? You're just gonna move on anyway. So
Yeah, exactly.
I think it works for me not having a label.
I think I cling to labels a little bit because I don't have a lot of definition.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if you like the label, if you feel like the label helps you to categorize yourself mentally and you feel like the label is doing the work that it's supposed to do with other people, then yeah, by all means, like embrace it, and have fun with it. If there was a label that described me super well, like if the experience that I just described to you was very common and people were using it, then yeah, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'm whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm this thing that is so common, that it has its own label.
Yeah, I use labels mostly for other people
Yeah.
because explaining my entire situation just takes too
Mhm.
long.
It can take some time. I mean, that was why I was thinking about like uploading the video, but I was also like, I'm just always nervous about videos. Like, I don't like marketing myself as a person. It always feels kind of comfortable for me, and I'm also always worried about describing my identity to people, and then people say like, oh, you might not be queer enough to actually make a game like this, or you might not be trans enough to make a game about trans people, or even I'm even worried about like, oh well, you said that you don't want to transition. Does that mean you have something against other people who do want to transition or whatever? Like, I'm just always worried that like people could misunderstand what I say, and I don't want to get into like a thing with that.
It's like people, if you say you don't like ice cream, accusing you of not liking cake. It doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
exactly. And I'm not even necessarily saying that someone that does that would be mean spirited. Like, the truth is that we're all at a very like, because of the situation that we're in right now with like Florida, and like you just pointed out, like we're in a very difficult time period where people are really nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I say anything that even sounds 1% off, I can understand people, sort of justifiably getting nervous and thinking, oh, is that person really one of us? They said something that seemed 1% off, and I'm super nervous right now because we're in a tough time. So because times are tough, I don't really like. I mean, maybe this is just me being paranoid, but I figure I don't want to say anything that even has the potential of being misinterpreted by anybody.
I definitely understand. Not the same thing, but example, on my YouTube channel that I have been curating for like 10 years,
Hmm.
I have never shown my face.
Hmm.
I speak in some videos, but I've never shown my face because I am very not comfortable with that.
Yep. I'm not
Because,
comfortable with my face either. I have shown my face in a few videos,
mm,
including one that I did very recently.
yeah,
Which I'm not sure. Did you say that? I think you might have.
yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so I showed my face in that one, and I showed my face in another one that I did that was an interview with Gender Mouser,
Oh, yeah.
from like a year ago. So I showed my face there. I don't particularly like showing my face because I don't really like my face very much, but
Mm-hmm.
I also feel like I don't want to let my fear of that prevent me from doing it because I don't want to admit that it has that much power over me. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Doesn't matter. Like, my own discomfort with my face will not get better or worse because other people know what I look like. They're not in my head, and so I'm just gonna put it out there and just move on. So that's kind of my attitude, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and there's also the matter of exposure therapy. If you keep doing it, it gets easier, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It is what it is, and like, I mean, that's another reason why I kind of don't want to like transition, because like I don't want to like care that much about what I look like. I don't want to put all this work into trying to make myself look good, because if I fail, then it will just be like that much worse. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it's easier emotionally to just kind of disconnect and disassociate and just like not care at all than it is to actually try and look like how I want to look, if that makes any sense.
That makes sense.
Especially because how I want to look is so radically different than how I actually look, that I think it's going to be like functionally impossible. So,
Oh, trust
like,
me,
what,
I
yeah.
definitely understand.
So, like, what is even my point here? Like, I have size dysphoria, right? Like, my mental image of myself is smaller than I actually am. So sometimes I'm clumsy. I'll hit my shoulder on the door frame because I anticipate that that I'm that I'm physically smaller, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get smaller shoulders. That's not happening, right? No matter what I do.
Not really. No,
So, I
that's
mean,
kind of built in stone.
yeah, so I'm just gonna be like, that is just who I am. It's gonna be a fun little entertaining anecdote for people, and that's it, right? There's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, it's like I'm never gonna be like 6 foot 225. That's just not
Nope.
happening.
Yeah, you can't get taller. It doesn't really work.
No, I mean you could get the leg lengthening surgery, but that seems
Yeah.
excessive.
It is excessive, and it doesn't even make you that much taller. It's gonna make you like 2 inches taller or something. So
Yeah,
it's like,
it's not worth it.
no, I wouldn't do it. But yeah, I want to say thank you so much for inviting me onto the show. I really enjoyed talking with you. Thank you so much for feeling comfortable enough of like wanting to share your characters with me and your personal stuff with me. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
You
thank
know,
you so much for coming.
yeah, thanks for wanting to help support the game. And if you do decide to support the game at one of the tier levels, I really appreciate it. If you can't because of financial limitations, like, I understand that too, but like whatever you decide to do is greatly appreciated. And I'll definitely post an update after the Kickstarter, either one way or another. If we hit the goal, I'm gonna post a big celebration, but if we don't hit the goal, I'm definitely gonna post an update and say, what kinds of things you might do, whether it's a Patreon or a relaunch or something. I'll definitely let you know what it is. Yeah, and
I
if you
look
have any
forward to more news.
Awesome, yeah. And if you have any other questions about like including your character or whatever, like yeah, just feel free to ask me and I'll chat with you about that.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. All right. Well, that was living the dream. I really hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and I will see you sometime next week. I'm not quite sure. I'm having a procedure done tomorrow, so we'll see how I am. Um, but thank you for coming, and I hope you had fun. I will be saving this stream as a highlight, so if you weren't able to be here when I was live, you can watch it later. I will be posting the Kickstarter information and stuff in my server. If you are not in my server, please join us. We just require you to be 18 plus and be polite. But thank you so much for coming, and I will see you next time.